Product Specialists help you pick out the instrument that's right for you. CA House Music, supporting local musicians since 1872. Play music for life.
New Belgium Fat Tire Amber Ale is now available in West Virginia and distributed locally by wine and beverage merchants. With its toasty and biscuit-like malt flavors blended perfectly with hoppy freshness, it's bound to become one of your new favorite craft beers. Fat Tire Amber Ale is now available at local retailers. Please don't drink and drive, and drink responsibly. From your friends at Wine and Beverage Merchants.
Attorney Tom McIntyre.
Life. It may knock you down, but you don't have to stay that way. I'm Tom McIntyre. I'm a bankruptcy attorney, and I'm here to help you. Give us a call, and we'll send you a copy of my free book, When Bad Things Happen to Good People. It's an interesting read, and it'll explain bankruptcy to you like no other book does. Give us a call. We're here to help.
Call Thomas E. McIntyre and Associates at 304-232-8600. Allow us to help put you back on the road to financial success.
Over 2.5 million Americans suffer from opioid use disorder. Treatment is not one size fits all. Medication-assisted treatment, also known as MAT, is the use of FDA-approved medication in combination with counseling. Remember, different treatments work for different individuals. The goal, no matter what the treatment is the same: help and continued growth and recovery. Go to helpandhopewv.org for more information.
Hey man, what can I get you?
Yeah, can I have 2 Coors Lights?
You got it. Hey Mike! I need 2 Coors Lights!
Sure thing!
With a taste as cold as the Rockies, only Coors Light gives you refreshment every time.
Here you go.
Thanks, Mike. Doing a great job. All right, 2 ice-cold Coors Lights.
That's the coldest beer I've ever had.
Hey, they don't call it the world's most refreshing beer for nothing.
Okay, be honest with me. Do you really have the Rocky Mountains in your beer cooler?
You don't believe it? Check it out.
Man, that's pretty amazing.
I know, right? I can't believe it myself sometimes. I mean, this cooler is only 3 feet wide.
Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. With great beer comes great responsibility.
The end of summer event is on at your Toyota dealer, meaning right now is the best time to save big on the car, truck, or SUV you've been dreaming of, like an off-road ready 4Runner or a rugged Tacoma, both available with $1,000 cash back. Or go in an adventurous RAV4, the best-selling SUV in America, and get $1,500 cash back. Take $1,500 back on a stylish Corolla, or $2,000 back on a sporty new Camry. Or get $2,500 cash back on the rugged half-ton Tundra. You can even drive away in a spacious Highlander with enough room for the whole family right now with $1,000 cash back, plus $500 bonus cash from Toyota. Shop for more great savings at Toyota's official website for deals. Buyattoyota.com. You can take cash back or apply toward down payment. Bonus cash must be applied toward down payment. Some offers may exclude TRD Pro models. See your dealer for details. The end of summer event is on at Toyota. So go see your dealer today. Offers end August 31st. Toyota.
The Highlands Event Center is the area's premier destination for conferences, workshops, employment fairs, weddings, and more. With 4,000 square feet of space, the Highland Event Center can accommodate events large and small. Situated in the heart of the Highlands, guests can enjoy the many restaurants, retail stores, entertainment, and lodging options. To check out everything the Highlands Event Center has to offer, head to thehighlandseventcenter.com or call 833-639-7070.
The views and opinions expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of this station or its sponsors.
The following program is brought to you in living color on NBC.
Now it's time for Bill DeFabio on AM 1600 WKKX, the Watchdog.
Holiday road. West Coast kid. Holiday road.
And welcome to Football Friday. Football Friday, so what do I start out with? A baseball interview. Good timing because the Pirates have just made a trade. I think they got Mike Trout for some guy named Dyson. Greg Brown, did you like the trade?
Well, I would like that one. That would be a great one.
Yeah.
That would be a surprise. No, they made a trade. They got some international pool money, is what I understand.
By the way, explain that to me. It's called slot money. I mean, do they get the money from a casino or what?
Maybe, perhaps.
I don't know.
No, I mean, well, you know, each draft, players are slotted these days. You know, you can't overpay a second-round pick like the Pirates did with Josh Bell, for example. And the Yankees and Dodgers got mad, so they changed the rules. And they basically, each player is slotted at a certain, each round is slotted. Each player is given a pretty much a range of how much money the team is allowed to pay that player, or else there will be some kind of fine involved. So it's just basically money for draft picks is what it is.
Okay, Jared Dyson, I love his glove. I don't like his bat. He's going to Chicago, where he's going to like their bats.
Yeah, he doesn't. In that lineup, it's not like he has to worry much about hitting.
No.
They can do the job for him.
Yeah.
And that's an impressive lineup, and I wouldn't be surprised if they end up going deep in the postseason. But you know, we were asking off the record actually the last couple of weeks, talking to Ben Cherington and Derek Shelton, and not to be rude, but we were basically saying, what's the point of Jarrod Dyson playing right now? It really didn't make much sense to us. It's apparent that they want to see if Cole Tucker can be the center fielder of the future, and this is valuable playing time that Dyson was getting. Although Dyson wasn't playing a whole heck of a lot, that's kind of what they were telling us.
Yeah.
When you look at it, and they also said just hang with us because there's a good chance that Tucker will be playing center field every day in the month of September, and sure enough. Today's the day we find out that's exactly what's going to happen.
Remind me of the trade deadline. Is it Monday?
Yeah.
Okay. Is it 4 o'clock?
I believe so.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we might be talking to you on Tuesday, if that's okay.
Yeah, well, I imagine that there are going to be other players. I mean, tonight, for example, Derek Holland, the veteran pitcher, starts for the Pirates tonight. And it's another example of a guy who he had admitted about 2 weeks ago that his best days are behind him. He said, I've been a starter most of my life, and now it's time to let the younger guys get a chance. So he pretty much said as much. So it would not be a surprise at all that this would be his last Pirate start tonight, Derek Holland, because there's a lack of pitching. He's been really good, actually, a veteran lefty. You're not going to go get a whole heck of a lot in this environment, as we found out about Jarrod Dyson. But you're still going to get something, and it will allow other players to take over in those positions.
Let me mention 3 players on the Bill DeFabio trade bubble, okay? I got a bubble.
Yeah.
I got a bubble, you know.
Oh, yeah, I know that.
Rodriguez, Kiela, and Frazier.
Kiela is going to be the most difficult to trade now because he hasn't picked up a baseball in about a week. But at the start of the season, got started very late. He had some injury issues last year, and now he's got some forearm issues. He's going to be really hard to trade. Frazier, people have been wanting to trade him, and I'm not pointing to you specifically, Bill, but you're a bunch of fans and the media wanting to trade Frazier almost since day one. I'm not in that boat. I won't be surprised if he's traded. But for me, I'll take Adam Frazier every day of the week. Give me him. Let him play second base every day. He'll be there for you. He's not going to bag the manager by having a slight hamstring injury or a broken fingernail. I mean, he's going to go out there. He's going to play, and he's not going to say a word about it. He's just going to play and play hard. And I like what he brings to the table. But again, I will not be surprised if he is traded. And Rodriguez is a very valuable trade piece right now. He's practically the Pirate closer, though we saw Nick Turley get the opportunity yesterday in the second game. But Rodriguez, under team control, a guy that could be a late inning setup man for a team. So, yeah, those three names, not surprising. It would shock me if they were able to trade Kella, though, in this situation because, again, he's not healthy.
How about Redbeard? Moran, is he safe?
Well, now he's in the concussion protocol for the next few days, so I don't know. I think he would also be a valuable trade piece for a team looking for a DH. The problem is he's been inconsistent, but he's another guy that I do like. He's got very little range at third or first. He's learning that first base position. And in fact, he got hurt because he was playing first base the other day. He didn't know how to handle that area around the first base bag. He's a guy that you could see traded. Again, you're not going to get much for him either. I get it, but it would surprise me if they were able to trade him and get something of real good value.
All right. Is Josh safe like Greg Brown?
Josh Bell is way safer than Greg Brown.
Okay.
Now, when we say safe, of course, we're talking about is he still going to be a Pirate? That I don't know, because the one thing I do know, Bill, and this goes with every sports team that you've covered or that I've covered, and I know this is Football Friday, and this goes along, I guess, with the theme, but show me a team in any sport that hires a new general manager or a new president or a new owner, brings in a new owner, and a team that doesn't make a bunch of changes after making that move, and it'll be a first. Because every new GM that comes in wants to make his mark. There's a reason he was brought in. It was because the team previously was not good, and they needed to shake things up, so they bring in a new guy, and he shakes things up. So I think anything goes. I will not be surprised come Tuesday if anyone or everyone is traded for that matter. The only surprise I would have is that, again, in this environment, it's different. Now, the winter time comes, winter meetings, you get back to somewhat normalcy with a normal spring training next year. Between now and opening day next year, again, I think everybody's on the table.
Yeah. You're right about the new guy coming in because he has no loyalty to anybody on this team.
Exactly.
Loyalty means nothing. You know?
Well, I mean, plus there's a reason. It's like a consultant. Whenever your business, and I learned this when I was up in Buffalo and worked for a radio station, and we had a big meeting one morning, the radio station, and all the talent that, I was doing like mornings and stuff, and we had this big meeting, and they introduced us to the new consultant.
Yeah.
And I said, uh-oh,
look out.
Get ready.
Yep.
Because the only reason a consultant gets hired is to make changes.
Yep.
And that's the only reason you bring in a consultant. You're not happy with the way things are, so you make a bunch of changes.
And I can name you 15 ex-radio TV celebrities. They no longer could get a job, so they become consultants.
Exactly. And again, that's right. And the only reason you are a consultant, by the way, you don't just go to places, bounce around to radio stations in this example, and not make changes, because then what good are you? Well, heck, we brought you in to change things.
Yep.
That's the reason you're a consultant, because you go in and you say you're not doing things right, and this is what you should do. And that's just the way of the world. So, again, Ben Cherington was brought in for a reason, and so nothing will surprise me. Tuesday, I don't think you're going to see as many trades in baseball as you have in a normal year, because it's so hard to evaluate. Minor leaguers, if the Pirates are going to make a trade, say they trade Kella to whomever, to the Phillies, well, how do they know how these minor leaguers have been performing, because there's been no minor league season?
That's great.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Hey,
there will be a lot of players to be named later, I think. There will be a lot of players, because they'll say in this trade, they'll say, okay, Phillies, you get Kella, but we get 2 AAA guys that we'll name next summer after we see them.
Yep, that's true.
That's what's going to happen.
All right, you took 2 out of 2 from the Cardinals, 2 wins in 6 hours. Made it sound like it was World Series games. I can understand the excitement. I took my shoes off. counted my toes. You go to Milwaukee for 4, right?
Correct.
If you sweep them again, you won't have the worst record in baseball.
Well, I made this prediction, and you and Lola laughed at me a couple weeks ago. I said at some point they're going to win 4 straight. Well, they won the 3 straight against the Brewers last weekend, and now they've won 2 in a row. So they have won 5 of the last 7 games they've played. And you're right. If they sweep these guys, they bump. In fact, if they sweep the Brewers, they are, I believe, within a game of a playoff spot.
Oh, no.
Yo, yes.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I believe you. But
that's good news.
Yeah.
It's hockey season.
Yeah.
In baseball.
And they'll have a better record than my Boston Red Flops.
Exactly. Boston's one of the worst teams in baseball. We're seeing that.
And it looks like they're going to trade.
Right,
it looks like they're going to trade some of their star players.
Yeah, that's what I think that's so fascinating about what's going on here. Well, we just do not know what other general managers are thinking, or owners for that matter, because there's been no revenue coming in. So what do they? They've saved some money in that regard, but it's also cost them some money because they're still paying these salaries to these players. Some players are still high priced. Some they still want to get off the books. The Red Sox, you figured even in a full season, we're going to have a tough year, and they were going to have to make, again, going back to that word, changes to regroup. It's a weird time. At times been a sad time, but it really is fascinating. It's wild. The 2 7-inning games, Bill, yesterday. I've never been involved. Well, I was in the minor leagues for a while and broadcast fields, but certainly not in the major leagues. To watch how quick-paced those games were yesterday. I mean, they were getting the ball. They were throwing strikes. There weren't many strikeouts. There weren't a lot of walks. Ball was put in play. And all of a sudden, bang, 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 you're in the 6th inning of game 1, and you realize this is really the 8th inning.
Yeah.
It was really fun.
Yeah. You know what? I've decided I'm going to keep practicing postpone. Because this morning I must have mentioned postpone 3 times. You ready? 7 major league games were postponed Thursday. 3 games were postponed in the NBA. In the National Hockey League, 2 games were scheduled. Both were postponed. Also Thursday, in the NFL, 9 teams canceled practice, postponed in response to the lake shooting. So I got to ask you, all right, or else I'm not doing my job, and I try and do my job. Was there talk within the Pirate organization or the Cardinals about not playing yesterday?
Apparently not. I think that Derek Shelton, I believe, was asked that before the game, and I think he said no, they did not. And then there's a follow-up about what discussions he had with the players internally, and he said we won't discuss what we discussed inside those clubhouse doors. So apparently not. And the thing about it, Bill, is that the Cardinals missed almost 2 weeks because of COVID. You remember that now. After their first, I think after their first 6 games of the season, they were shut down for 13 or 15 straight. So they are playing double headers left and right. So they really can't afford to not play every day. And it's already, the schedule's in a complete tizzy. Had they not played yesterday, I don't know what they'd have done. The Pirates are making up, those were 2 games that were canceled August 10th and 11th that they made up yesterday. The August 12th game that was canceled at Busch Stadium, I should say postponed, that was postponed from August the 12th. That is going to be made up as part of a doubleheader when the Cardinals come to town in a couple of weeks to PNC Park. So it's wild and crazy. It's like the wild, wild west, man. It's just anything goes in baseball in terms of the schedule.
Cardinals got 7 more doubleheaders.
Jeez.
You know?
The Pirates have at least 2 more, and that's if no other games are postponed.
I want your thoughts and your thoughts only, okay?
Yep.
All right. What do you think of all these teams and all these players and postponing, walking off the fields, not practicing in the NFL? No hockey, no basketball yesterday. What are your thoughts on what the players are doing?
You know, somebody asked me that, Bill, and I said, I'm not going to give my opinion because I understand about a conversation needing to be had. But for me, the conversation is so deep. It is way more than a T-shirt. It's way more than a banner. And it's way more than walking out of a game. It's way more than that. It's so deep and so strong. You cannot possibly do it in a minute. You can't do it in an hour. You need to commit time. You need to commit to other people who truly want the conversation. I mean, you say it, but do you want it? Because I want it. I want to have it. And I want to go deep. I mean, way deep into this conversation. And it cannot be done on a talk show or in 5 minutes. It's too strong. It's about life. And it's again, I'll just say I will not give an opinion. I won't do it.
I won't either, but I'll agree with you. I want to be part of the conversation. And you know what? I'm also a good listener. I'm getting older.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I like to think I am, but people may say I'm not. And that's something to learn, too.
Yeah.
And that's why I talk about being deep. You want to go deep? We'll go deep. And I want it.
Okay. All right. Hey, when I was listening to the game the other day, Walkie was doing some homework on the arch.
Well, wait. I'm sorry. You stumped me there. You said Walkie was doing what?
He was doing research on the rail,
What?
on the
Homework
arch.
and research? Bob Walk?
Yeah. And
I've
I
never
think Joe
heard-
Block said, "What are you doing?" He says, "Well, maybe I can find something interesting to talk about with the arch."
I've never heard homework or research in the same sentence with Bob Walk. That's,
I wanted to know what he was researching. You know, when it was built, how high is it?
Oh yeah, I mean, you know, Bob. He's probably doing all that.
Yeah.
You know, Bob won't stop. You know, and he and I got in a nice argument yesterday on the air about. I just asked, hey, do you believe that there are? Because I do. That the ejections, or if not ejections, then at least the tempers, the tensions on the field are higher because of the fact that there are no fans, that we are playing only 60 games, and they're basically halfway through the schedule, and each game is like a playoff game. Don't you feel like the tensions are higher? And he said no. And then he went on to explain why. And then he started to argue with me on the air as to why. And I said, I'm not. And then we continued the argument in the AT&T studios. And now people still know us, but they don't know how to react because we're arguing, we're yelling at each other. And then we go back on the air and we try to regroup. But, you know, people always say, you know, why don't you get along with Bob? I said, well, actually, Bob's like a brother to me. What do you mean?
Yeah.
He said, well, you're arguing all the time. I said, I'm one of 7 kids, 6 brothers. I said, that's all we did growing up is argue. You don't think I love them?
Yeah, you're right.
So anyway, well, we got that nice argument. But we had some fun with it. We had some fun with the arch because he started talking about a pitch that looked like an arch, and then there's a fly ball that looked like an arch. So
hey,
we had some fun.
I got to do a FanDuel ad here. You know, FanDuel is America's #1 sports book. Shall I bet on the Pirates taking 4 in a row over the Brewers, or maybe 2 out of 4?
Well, I mean, if I were allowed to bet, and I'm not.
I know you're not.
But you're talking about FanDuel, and you're a friend. I mean, I like the Pirates' chances of winning. I like their chance of winning 3 out of 4 in this series.
Okay, all right.
But you cannot come back to me now and say that I forced you to bet.
Okay. Well, I'll have Lola come back to you.
Okay.
We won't talk about her Tigers, not today, okay?
Oh, please. Those poor Tigers.
Oh, please.
Although, you know, they did end that streak of 20 consecutive losses to the Cleveland Indians.
Yes, just
we
barely.
talked about.
Yep.
Just barely.
Yeah,
And
but
I thought of you.
They got off the schneid.
Yep. And Garrett Cole didn't get number 21, right?
That's right. He lost that game the other day to a rookie pitcher, Ian Anderson. So all is right with the world.
Wait, Ian Anderson. He was the lead singer of Jethro Tull.
I know it. I believe that's his name, Ian Anderson.
Yeah, Ian
I imagine
Anderson.
his nickname's got to be Jethro.
Oh. Hey, Greg, thank you for joining us on Football Friday.
Hey, thanks. So, and next Football Friday, if the NFL and college football actually is played, that's a big if. I've been saying that since early spring because I said what other sports do, football and the others have to follow. And right now they're not allowing fans. But anyway, if they do get into, I want to get involved in some predictions for the college and NFL.
Okay, you can do that. By the way, growing up as little Greg Brown, who was your favorite NFL team?
Oh, that's easy. I loved the Chicago Bears. I absolutely loved the Chicago, and they were horrible when I was growing up. And that's an example I use all the time, Bill. When people say they're not fans of the Pirates because they're not winning, I said, I don't understand that.
Yeah.
Because the Chicago Bears, back when I was growing up, those were the days they were playing only 14 seasons. There were times like they were 2-12.
Yeah.
And I could not wait for each and every week to come. I loved the Bears, and when I fell in love with the Bears, I was watching an NFL film special about Brian Piccolo and Gale Sayers.
Yeah.
Gale Sayers was a black football player out of the University of Kansas. Brian Piccolo was a white running back out of, I believe, Wake Forest.
Wake Forest, yep.
And they were roommates.
Yep.
And it was kind of like somewhat of a Jackie Robinson story, but it was a novel that they would team a black and a white football player together as roommates. And kind of the story about the Brian Piccolo and Gale Sayers story. There was actually a film made of them.
Brian Song.
Brian Song. There was a book written by Gale Sayers that I treasured called I Am Third.
Yeah.
And so anyway, I fell in love with the Chicago Bears watching that special, and to this day, I still love the Chicago Bears.
Just remember, your Bears beat up on my Patriots in the '86 Super Bowl.
I'll never forget it.
And I still can't stand the fact that they didn't give the football to Walter Payton, but Refrigerator scored it.
I agree. I got caught up in the fridge and the dance and everything else, and I loved it back then. But as time went on, shortly after that Super Bowl, I thought, man, that is really unfair because, man, I loved Walter Payton. I got to meet Walter Payton when I was a Bills announcer. I used to, I don't know how much time you got, but I cut out Sports Illustrated covers.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if you take the sheet off of Sports Illustrated, and then I would make it into my book cover. So when I was carrying my books to school, my whatever book it was, geography, algebra, whatever it might be, science, my book covers were Sports Illustrated and oftentimes Chicago Bears covers.
Okay. Well.
And anyway, later on, I was a broadcaster for the Buffalo Bills, and during Super Bowl week down in Tampa Bay, and you know the way that is, Media Row.
Yes.
You had all these personalities walking by, and I asked Walter Payton to come over. We interviewed him for about 10 minutes, and it was a surreal experience to interview my hero.
Okay. By the way, since you collect covers, I'll send you my cover. I was on the cover of the Rolling Stone.
What?
No, I wasn't.
Oh.
I shocked you, didn't I, Greg?
You almost got me.
All right. Hey, happy trading Monday.
And to those that will be traded, happy trails.
Yeah. Thanks, Greg.
Thanks.
All right. Before we officially start our football talk at the top of the hour, I got to talk about my new teammate, FanDuel. It's America's #1 sportsbook app, and here's why. The app is super easy to use. Whether you're a seasoned bettor, I'm not, or I'm new to wagering, which I am, you'll find what you're looking for just a few taps. I'm pretty sure they're going to play some NBA games near the future or whatever, NHL games. If there's no postponements, you can always bet on the games that are played. Best of all, FanDuel Sportsbook will let you place your first bet risk-free. Just place any bet you want and get up to $500 back if you don't win. You can also bet $20 to win $10 to win $200 if you bet on a team in the NBA to go all the way to the finals. All right? Download the FanDuel Sportsbook app to get started. Be sure you sign up with promo code WKKX so they know that we sent you. They got a ton of promotions. You can bet on practically anything. Golf with the PGA, NASCAR racing, the National Hockey League and Stanley Cup, baseball with the Pirates playing the Milwaukee Brewers. Last time they met, the Pirates swept them a 3-game series. You must be 21 plus and present in West Virginia. First online real money wager only. See sportsbookfanduel.com for terms and restrictions. Gambling problem? All you got to do is visit www.1800gambler.net. And I'll bet you, all right, a dinner that I'll be back in about 10 minutes with Football Friday.
must be some kind of way out of here. Say the joker to the thief. There's too much confusion. I can't get no relief. Businessman there, drink my wine.
The Watchdog is FM 98.1, AM 1600 WKKX Wheeling, FM 97.7, AM 1370 WVLY Moundsville.
The ABC News is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
From ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. Happening this hour on the March on Washington. Tens of thousands marching for racial equality with the Lincoln Memorial as the backdrop, the spot where the Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. delivered his I Have a Dream speech on this day 57 years ago. It comes as calls for police reform in the wake of the latest police shooting of a black man, Jacob Blake, in Kenosha, Wisconsin. Democratic Vice Presidential nominee Kamala Harris delivering a video message.
We continue to see black men and women slain in our streets and left behind by an economy and justice system that have too often denied black folks our dignity and rights.
Frank Nitti traveled to be part of that march.
My grandsons ain't gonna be marching for the same stuff my granddaddy marched for. This the revolution, all right? We just marched 750 miles from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, 24 days to get here because we not gonna stop until we get changed.
In Illinois, a hearing for a white teen charged with shooting and killing two protesters in the aftermath of the Jacob Blake shooting in Wisconsin has been postponed.
Kyle Rittenhouse declined to waive extradition to Wisconsin from Illinois, where he was taken into custody. Rittenhouse did not appear. Instead, his public defender asked for a continuance, and the judge agreed to delay for a month the decision on whether to return the 17-year-old to Wisconsin. That's where he's charged with fatally shooting two protesters and wounding a third during demonstrations after the Jacob Blake shooting. Rittenhouse faces 5 felony charges, including first-degree intentional homicide.
ABC's Aaron Katursky. The NBA Players Union say that the playoff games will resume tomorrow, that after teams and the league postponed games in solidarity for those protests over the Jacob Blake shooting. Tropical depression Laura moving through the mid-Mississippi Valley this hour, bringing the threat of flooding a day after Hurricane Laura hit the Gulf Coast. The storm, now part of history, the most powerful storm to strike the Louisiana coastline since 1856. You're listening to ABC News.
They're pounding on the door. They're calling on the phone. It's the collectors. It's those credit cards you ran up trying to start your business. Now you found out that a DBA hurts the family and brings the pain home.
Do you remember hearing these commercials on radio? For over 40 years, Ray Reynolds has helped customers get millions in credit. It's no wonder why they call him the godfather of credit. Ray Reynolds will get your score above 720. Do you need $50,000 of corporate credit? By using corporate credit, you can finance a business, buy real estate and stock under a corporation. Take advantage of numerous tax write-offs only available to a corporation. Now you can meet Ray Reynolds on his daily webinar at 11 a.m. and 2 p.m. Monday through Friday, or call 800-490-4140 to find out more about his secrets to success in helping fix and improve your credit. Go to rayswebinar.com at 11 a.m. or 2 p.m. Monday through Friday and check out his free, very informative webinar, or call 800-490-4140 now. It's worth your time and you'll learn a lot. That's rayswebinar.com or call 800-490-4140.
The man who says he had an affair with the wife of Jerry Falwell Jr. is speaking out, leading to his resignation as president of Liberty University.
Giancarlo Granda says he first met Becky Falwell when he was 20 years old, working at a hotel in Florida. He says she told him she and her husband, Jerry Falwell Jr., had gone to a swingers club the night before, but they didn't like it.
It wasn't their thing. They said it was kind of gross because there's too many people, and they wanted a more intimate session.
Granda claims Falwell would watch what was happening between his wife and the one-time pool boy, which Falwell denies. Granda denies trying to get money out of the Falwells in exchange for keeping the affair private. Sherry Preston, ABC News.
Pandemic progress down under.
With the COVID numbers now small and manageable, New Zealand is preparing to ease restrictions in the country's largest city in the next few days. Finance Minister Grant Robertson.
New Zealand remains in a comparatively positive position to other countries who have experienced second wave outbreaks, with a small number of daily cases, no additional cases and no spread of the virus beyond the cluster.
The easing, Robertson says, is all down to the commitment shown by the Aucklanders over the past few weeks to fighting the virus's spread. Tom Rivers, ABC News at the Foreign Desk.
As schools in the U.S. reopen, the American Academy of Pediatrics finds that COVID cases in children jumped 21% over 2 weeks in August, more than 74,000 infections. This is ABC News.
Hiring is challenging. Just ask Dylan Miskowitz, the COO of Cafe Altura. We needed a director of coffee in order to move our products forward. It felt like we were looking for a needle in a haystack. Dylan started using ZipRecruiter and found his perfect candidate in a few days. We were very impressed with how quickly we had quality candidates apply through ZipRecruiter.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/try. That's ZipRecruiter.com/try.
I'm Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
Hey man, what can I get you?
Yeah, can I have 2 Coors Lights?
You got it. Hey Mike! I need 2 Coors Lights!
Sure thing.
With a taste as cold as the Rockies, only Coors Light gives you refreshment every time.
Here you go.
Thanks, Mike. Doing a great job. All right, 2 ice-cold Coors Lights.
That's the coldest beer I've ever had.
Hey, they don't call it the world's most refreshing beer for nothing.
Okay, be honest with me. Do you really have the Rocky Mountains in your beer cooler?
You don't believe it? Check it out.
Man, that's pretty amazing.
I know, right? I can't believe it myself sometimes. I mean, this cooler is only 3 feet wide.
Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. With great beer comes great responsibility.
Oh, there's something so real about living local. And I know without a doubt I'm not alone. And I'm loving living local. There's nowhere else I'd rather be. Said I'm loving living local. WTRF is working for me. The Ohio Valley is where I love to be.
The Highlands Event Center is the area's premier destination for conferences, workshops, employment fairs, weddings, and more. With 4,000 square feet of space, the Highland Event Center can accommodate events large and small. Situated in the heart of the Highlands, guests can enjoy the many restaurants, retail stores, entertainment, and lodging options. To check out everything the Highlands Event Center has to offer, head to thehighlandseventcenter.com or call 833-639-7070.
Over 2.5 million Americans suffer from opioid use disorder. Treatment is not one size fits all. Medication-assisted treatment, also known as MAT, is the use of FDA-approved medication in combination with counseling. Remember, different treatments work for different individuals. The goal, no matter what the treatment is the same: help and continued growth and recovery. Go to helpandhopewv.org for more information.
Now, during the Jim Robinson Ford Lincoln Toyota Pre-Owned Super Sale, select from over 80 vehicles in stock starting under $5,000. Most are local trades, many with one owner. Hurry to Jim Robinson at the Highlands, home of lifetime powertrain protection. Now, during the Jim Robinson Ford Lincoln Toyota Pre-Owned Super Sale, select from over 80 vehicles in stock starting under $5,000. Most are local trades, many with one owner. Hurry to Jim.
Hello, everyone. From the Watchdog, I'm Darnell Foster. With a look at your local weather forecast for your Friday. Mostly cloudy with a few scattered thunderstorms. Daytime high near 83. Less humid through the overnight with temperatures down into the upper 60s under mostly cloudy skies. You'll see the chance for a shower around for your Saturday. With temperatures in the low 80s. Have yourself a great day, everyone. From the Watchdog, I'm Darnell Foster.
The views and opinions expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of this station or its sponsors.
You unlock this door with the key of imagination. Beyond it is another dimension. A dimension of sound. A dimension of sight. A dimension of mind. You're moving into a land of both shadow and substance, of things and ideas. You've just crossed over into the Twilight Zone.
Now it's time for Bill DeFabio on AM 1600 WKKX, the Watchdog.
Welcome to the first of many shows. As long as we're playing high school football, college football, I'll be here on Fridays for Football Friday, and we're going to open the door and let the first coach in of 2020, and that's the Martins Ferry head coach, Chaz Yoder. Hey, Chaz, how are you? Chaz?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Okay, I can barely hear you. Hold on. Okay, Chaz, I was thinking of a way to introduce your team. I'm going to steal a basketball cliche, right? Sweet 16. You have 16 Lettermen coming back from last year. You got to be happy because a lot of these guys played on both sides of the ball. So I don't think you'll be lacking in experience.
Right. Get a lot of guys back.
Hello? Hello, Chaz? I can't hear him. Chaz, are you there?
Can you hear me?
Okay. Whew.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. My left eardrum's gone, but that's all right. I can hear you on the right side. All right. Talk about your Sweet 16, your 16 Lettermen coming back from last year. And most of these guys, you're going to tell me, you return a lot of guys that played offense and defense.
Yes, we have 9 guys on, I think, both sides of the ball that have started in at least 3 football games. So we got experience. We're happy about that.
Let's talk about your juniors the juniors and seniors that experience the offense. Talk with your quarterback, your scheme, you know, what to expect tonight against a pretty good team. And by the way, that's just a nice segue. Coach Halinka will be joining us in the 2 o'clock hour. But talk about your offense. Talk about maybe some leadership quality players.
Our quarterback, he's new starting at quarterback, but he started at safety for us. This will be his 4th year. So he's one of those rare guys that has started since he was a freshman. You know, he knows when he's got the ball in his hands how dangerous he can be. Our offensive line, we have some experience there. We got juniors and seniors mixed in, and we couldn't be happier with how they've been practicing the last couple of weeks. So we at the running back position or fullback position, we got 3 guys back there. They're all seniors, and Chase Goff, Trevor Hampton, and Evan Carpenter. So you know we're gonna rely on them a little bit early, and we got some new and familiar faces at the wideout position. So on offense, we're happy with how we're looking so far, and you know we're just excited that we get to play.
Yeah, I think that's what all the coaches will say today, tomorrow, next week. Defensively, you run what, a 4-3 scheme?
Yes, 4-3.
Okay. Talk about this kid that a lot of people have asked me about, and that's Evan Carpenter. From what I understand, the sky's the limit for him, and he's getting some college looks. So that sounds very exciting for the young man. Yeah, we're excited. He's excited. Last year, at the beginning of the year, we kind of had him in a position where maybe he, you know, wasn't big enough or to play, you know, defensive line in college. But at the linebacker position, he's got great size, great speed. He's got a nose for the ball, and he's definitely one of our leaders on the team. Only 6 games, Coach? 6 games scheduled, and then the playoffs. So we're hoping for a couple more than that. And you're hopeful for a good start because after Shadyside, you have Lindsley and Union Local at home. Yeah, we're just focusing on week 1 right now, but yeah, we got some good teams on the schedule, and that's great. We're excited about it. 1 or 2 things that you could tell me. Will fans be allowed, and will the bands play? The fans, there's a limit on fans this year, but the game will be televised live. It will also be live streamed on our website, on WTOV9's website. And yes, the home band will play. That's good news. We're excited about that. I always say, you know, the band players, the band members work just as hard as the players on that field. Practice, practice, practice. Yep. Hey, tell me about that change with the helmets. You now have purple helmets instead of the traditional white helmets. Did the players want that, or did you suggest that to the players? I'm sure they would have said, yeah, Coach. Yeah, you know, it's been something I've been toying with the last couple of years, thinking about. You know, my alma mater in college, that's what we wore, and I always thought, you know, that might look pretty sharp. Then I found out that, you know, probably
30 years ago that that's what color they were before they switched. So we let the seniors decide on that, and I think all the kids were happy with how they turned out. So they get, anything that gets them going or gets them excited, we'll try.
Yep. It's a nice way to start the season. Finally, talk a little bit about your opponent, Shadyside. Have you had time to study video, and what sticks out in your mind after watching them?
No. What sticks out is we scrimmaged them for years. We always had a jamboree with them, and every year they're always well coached. They're always good tacklers. They don't make mental mistakes. They always have good athletes. Every year in and year out, they're a good team. So we're excited about that. We think we got a pretty good team too, and like I said, we're just excited to play.
Yeah, and you probably want to get excited to play because you just missed out last year in postseason play, right?
Yes, we got to get off to, we started off slow last year, and I think we finished up. I don't think our record showed how good we were by the end of the year. So we want to build off that and get off to a good start this season.
Hey, Coach, in your last 6 games last year, you won 5 of 6. I'm sure you'd like to have that this year.
Yeah, we'd like to start off that way, that's for sure.
All right, it should be a fun time at home against Shadyside, and the game will be played at Dave Bruni Football Complex. Coach, thank you for being our first coach on Friday, Football Friday in the Ohio Valley. Thank you and good luck.
Thanks for having me.
All right. Okay, all right. Yeah, that's going to be an interesting matchup. And, of course, we'll talk to the opposing coach, Coach Halinka, out of Shadyside. Okay? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take a break, and I just got some news that there will be some basketball played in the NBA tomorrow, okay? And that means I can talk about basketball wagering with our good friends at FanDuel. All that and more coming up on Friday, Good Friday, as far as high school football is concerned, on the Watchdog.
The Highlands Event Center is the area's premier destination for conferences, workshops, employment fairs, weddings, and more. With 4,000 square feet of space, the Highland Event Center can accommodate events large and small. Situated in the heart of the Highlands, guests can enjoy the many restaurants, retail stores, entertainment, and lodging options. To check out everything the Highlands Event Center has to offer, head to thehighlandseventcenter.com or call 833-639-7070.
The end of summer event is on at your Toyota dealer, meaning right now is the best time to save big on the car, truck, or SUV you've been dreaming of, like an off-road ready 4Runner or a rugged Tacoma, both available with $1,000 cash back. Or go in an adventurous RAV4, the best-selling SUV in America, and get $1,500 cash back. Take $1,500 back on a stylish Corolla or $2,000 back on a sporty new Camry. Or get $2,500 cash back on the rugged half-ton Tundra. You can even drive away in a spacious Highlander with enough room for the whole family right now with $1,000 cash back, plus $500 bonus cash from Toyota. Shop for more great savings at Toyota's official website for deals. Buyatoyota.com. You can take cash back or apply toward down payment. Bonus cash must be applied toward down payment. Some offers may exclude TRD Pro models. See your dealer for details. The end of summer event is on at Toyota. So go see your dealer today. Offers end August 31st. Toyota.
I'm Josh from Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration. I hope you are staying healthy. We continue to respond to structural, fire, and water emergencies. We are combating COVID-19 with our highly trained staff and latest disinfection systems, providing preventative and reactive disinfection to facilities around the region, while working with area hospitals on isolation areas and air filtering. At Panhandle, we continue to follow social distancing and hygiene protocols. We are dedicated to our community, and together, we will get through this.
The perfect cure for your quarantine blues. The Watchdog on Facebook Live. Watch The Watchdog weekdays on Facebook Live, beginning with the morning show with Howard Monroe at 7 a.m. Local talk radio, Watchdog style. Give us a call and tell us what you're thinking.
Locally, 304-214-1600. Out of the area, toll free, 866-514-1600 or 304-232-8255.
Home in the valley, home in the city. Home isn't pretty, ain't no home for me. Home in the darkness, home on the highway. Home isn't my way, home I'll never be. Burn out today.
And we're back. Just got the news. Well, I stole it on my cell phone from NBA.com or whatever. The NBA playoffs will continue tomorrow. Okay, what a nice segue, huh? And that means I can bring in FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook app, and here's why. You know, you could do a lot of things with this app. First of all, I know one thing. You can bet, here's right now, new users can get a special plus 2,000 odds, any team to make the NBA playoffs. Just pick any team. You know, the teams that are playing now, pick one. And then bet $10 for your chance to win 200 if they make it. All right? Now everybody's thinking it's going to be the Lakers and the Bucks. I don't know. But the ball is in your court. You make the prediction, put down the $10, who knows, you might win 200. There are so many options. Easy to use. Deposit options. A brand you can trust. I've worked with them now for a couple of years. Yeah, they're great to work with. Plus, they're my teammates. There's all kinds of types of bets, especially with all sports practically. Live, you know what I mean? You can bet on the PGA, Major League Baseball, the Stanley Cup, auto racing, horse racing. Promotions available for brand new and existing users. This is all you have to do to join the FanDuel team. Download the FanDuel Sportsbook app to get started, and be sure to sign up with the promo code WKKX so they know that we sent you. That's FanDuel Sportsbook, promo code WKKX. FanDuel Sportsbook, more than just one way to win. By the way, there's a disclaimer. I must read it, or else I'll be in trouble. 21 plus, present in West Virginia. Now, new users only. Must wager on designated boost market. Max bonus $200. See full terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. If you got a gambling problem, here's my suggestion. Visit www.1800gambler.net. Once again, NBA will continue their playoffs tomorrow, okay? No word on any postponements in Major League Baseball today. I will check that out on the bottom of the hour because you know what? Things change by the second. Whether it's the NBA, Major League Baseball, looks like the Steelers are practicing. We'll get an update from Heinz Field with Ray Fittipaldo at about 2:45, okay? Remember, I'm on Fridays from 12:30 to 3 o'clock with Football Friday, okay? We inserted Greg Brown in today because timing was good. The Pirates made a trade, and he couldn't be with us yesterday because the Pirates were celebrating 2 wins in 6 hours. You know what, Lola? I kind of like that 7-inning game.
Yeah.
I mean, both games went real quick yesterday. And in less than 6 hours, you know, there were 2 wins for the Pirates, 2 losses for the Cardinals. Boom, boom, boom. It was real quick. So I kind of like that. Don't want to be in the shoes of the St. Louis Cardinals, who after today have 7 doubleheaders. I think the Pirates, as Greg said, have 2 or 3. But the Pirates won the first game in extra innings by the score of 4-3. And then the Pirates shut out the Cardinals in the second game. All right? Derek Holland will get to start tonight for a team that's just as bad as the Pirates, the Milwaukee Brewers. It's game 1 of a 4-game series. The last time these two teams met, the Pirates swept a 3-game series at home, PNC Park against Milwaukee. So a total, this is all Thursday. Postponement. Did I say it 3 times? I should say it 4 times. Postponement. Here we go. 7 MLB games were postponed Thursday. Players decided they're going to react to the shooting of the police to Jacob Blake, which is kind of different video. I suggest you don't watch it if you have a soft stomach or soft heart. 3 games were postponed in the NBA, in the National Hockey League Stanley Cup playoffs. You know, I couldn't wait to watch the Boston Bruins play, you know, but they were postponed. So was the other game in the Western Conference. And then Thursday in the National Football League, postponement number 4, 9 teams canceled practice in response to the Blake shooting. The Steelers did not practice. Why? Well, I'm going to ask that question to Ray when he's on the air. So Ben Roethlisberger said the team never took a vote on whether to cancel practice. But other teams, including Lola's Detroit Lions, decided, no, we're sitting this one out. So I don't know. The Steelers did announce, and for the 2 fans that like Pitt in the Ohio Valley, me and I, right? The Steelers and Pitt announced no fans will be allowed to attend the first 2 home games at PNC Park. So that's interesting news. While Kansas City can let 24,000 to 25,000 fans into that huge stadium called Arrowhead. So I have no idea. I have no idea. Like I said, this changes by the minute. And I just got a flash here, and what is it? The NBA officially will return Saturday. This is from 27 minutes ago. All arenas to become voting centers. Okay. Tom Brady is upset because some of the teams are not practicing. Okay. When Tom speaks, he's like LeBron James. You listen, right? I listen. It goes in one ear and out the other. All right? Lola, what do you think of all the teams postponing games and not showing up for practice? Is it the new norm?
No, it's not the new norm. I think they're just finding their voice, and they want to make a statement that this stuff has got to stop. And they've got a huge platform. Like I said yesterday, with sports this country being so preoccupied with sports that it's the one way to make people stop and perhaps think about, even if they're mad about them postponing games, at least it's being talked about. And, it's this, other things can happen, but boy, don't let anything interfere in this country with sports. And so perhaps it'll make some people sit back and say, you know what, there is something here that has to be discussed. But like Greg said, it's not just wearing a shirt. It's not just, taking a knee. It's a discussion that needs to be had thoughtfully and deeply and honestly. And until that happens, not a whole lot's gonna change. We have to have that honest conversation about all of this.
I was reminded by the Red Sox broadcaster who does a TV show, and I watched it last night. He had Jim Rice on, Hall of Famer, great player. Jim Rice came up the same time as Freddie Lynn back in '74. 2 great players just made the jump from AA to Major League Baseball. In later life, Jim Rice became one of the best ball players in the major leagues. But Jim Rice, the great ball player, couldn't buy a house in certain areas of the Boston area. And you know why. Same with Joe Green. When Joe Green was, I think, in his 4th year, he wanted to buy this nice house near my neighborhood. He couldn't. There's a reason for that. I'll let you answer that one. But yeah, I can understand all the problems in the past, and I'm going to be a good listener. If somebody wants to talk to me about what's happening today, I will listen. Will I ask questions? I don't know. But I know one thing. The Tigers are next. They're not from Detroit, but they're from Shadyside. We'll be talking to the head coach, Coach Halinka, about his team entering its 101st varsity football season. And he, like Coach Yoder, has a lot of experienced people coming back to play some football. Shadyside, visiting Martins Ferry. This is part 2. We heard from Martins Ferry. Now we're going to hear from the Shadyside Tigers right after we take this brief break on Football Friday on AM 1600, and we are the Watchdog.
The Highlands Event Center is the area's premier destination for conferences, workshops, employment fairs, weddings, and more. With 4,000 square feet of space, the Highland Event Center can accommodate events large and small. Situated in the heart of the Highlands, guests can enjoy the many restaurants, retail stores, entertainment, and lodging options. To check out everything the Highlands Event Center has to offer, head to thehighlandseventcenter.com or call 833-639-7070.
A serious injury from an accident can be just the start of your worries. What if you cannot return to work? How do you take care of your family if you're disabled? At Gelner Law Offices, we represent seriously injured people and understand their problem. We know how to get you fair compensation. We will work hard to make sure you get the money you deserve for your losses. Don't go it alone. If you're hurt in an accident, call us at 304-242-2900 or visit us at gelnerlaw.com.
We'd like to help.
Island Pawn Brokers is now your local firearm dealer. In a pinch? Need cash quick? See us before going to the big box stores. Paying top dollar for firearms, gold, silver, tools, coins, and electronics. Don't lose your good credit. Let us give you instant cash. Stop by 2 North Broadway Street on Wheeling Island, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. and Saturday, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Island Pawn Brokers. Stop in for instant cash.
The end of summer event is on at your Toyota dealer, meaning right now is the best time to save big on the car, truck, or SUV you've been dreaming of, like an off-road ready 4Runner or a rugged Tacoma, both available with $1,000 cash back. Or go in an adventurous RAV4, the best-selling SUV in America, and get $1,500 cash back. Take $1,500 back on a stylish Corolla or $2,000 back on a sporty new Camry. Or get $2,500 cash back on the rugged half-ton Tundra. You can even drive away in a spacious Highlander with enough room for the whole family right now with $1,000 cash back, plus $500 bonus cash from Toyota. Shop for more great savings at Toyota's official website for deals. Buyattoyota.com. You can take cash back or apply toward down payment. Bonus cash must be applied toward down payment. Some offers may exclude TRD Pro models. See your dealer for details. The end of summer event is on at Toyota. So go see your dealer today. Offers end August 31st. Toyota.
I'm Josh from Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration. I hope you are staying healthy. We continue to respond to structural, fire, and water emergencies. We are combating COVID-19 with our highly trained staff and latest disinfection systems, providing preventative and reactive disinfection to facilities around the region, while working with area hospitals on isolation areas and air filtering. At Panhandle, we continue to follow social distancing and hygiene protocols. We are dedicated to our community, and together, we will get through this.
Hey, I'm going to the kitchen. Can I grab you a Coors Light?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Huh. I never knew there was a zip line in my fridge. Hey! Hey, buddy! Yeah! You got 2 Coors Lights up there?
You got it! Always brewed down to 34 degrees. With a taste as cold as the Rockies, only Coors Light gives you refreshment every time.
Here you go, 2 Coors Lights.
Awesome, man. Wow, these are really cold.
That's the only way I deliver it.
Sure, I mean, you being a mountain climber and all.
Yep.
You probably need a pretty warm coat in there, huh?
Yep.
Hey, Ben!
Yeah!
Ask him if he has any nachos.
You got any nachos in there?
No.
Just icy cold Coors Light?
Yep.
That makes sense. It is the Rockies.
Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. With great beer comes great responsibility.
The Highlands Event Center is the area's premier destination for conferences, workshops, employment fairs, weddings, and more. With 4,000 square feet of space, the Highland Event Center can accommodate events large and small. Situated in the heart of the Highlands, guests can enjoy the many restaurants, retail stores, entertainment, and lodging options. To check out everything the Highlands Event Center has to offer, head to thehighlandseventcenter.com or call 833-639-7070.
The Metro News Update is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
West Virginia Metro News, I'm Chris Lawrence. Death toll for COVID-19 in West Virginia now surpassing 200 victims. The DHHR today, in their release of the daily coronavirus figures, noted those 3 deaths, 2 women in Logan County, ages 93 and 82, and a 77-year-old man from Cabell County. There were 191 confirmed cases added in the past 24 hours statewide, and the new cases were enough to push Mingo and Kanawha County back into orange status on the statewide alert map. Now, if those counties turn out to be orange in tomorrow evening's report, schools in both counties would be negated from participating in high school sports next week, including the opening night of high school football season. Governor Jim Justice will talk more about those new figures later today in his media briefing, which has now been reset for 1:30 this afternoon. See it live at WVMetroNews.com. Head of the Kanawha Charleston Health Department has some reservations about new guidance from the Centers for Disease Control. Dr. Sherry Young says to not perform mass testing for COVID-19, as is now suggested, would cripple their ability to keep up with the virus.
We need to see where it is, where it's going. It's an invisible enemy that we have to fight. And part of the time it has been asymptomatic people until we get a medication that is effective, that we can treat people outpatient or before the development of a vaccine, this is the only tool in our toolbox.
And Young says Kanawha County will continue with its testing protocol as it has been. Nicholas County officials say substantial rain last night caused several streams in the northern part of their county to get out of their banks. You're listening to Metro News, the voice of West Virginia. Concord University has concluded its COVID-19 testing initially. Out of 1,559 faculty, staff, and students tested, 5 were positive. At Fairmont State, they tested 3,614 people on campus, resulting in 5 positives, 4 of whom have already recovered. State Fair of West Virginia canceling another fairground-associated event. The Fall Giant Flea Market and Antique Show, set for September 18th through the 20th in Fairleigh, has now been called off. From the Metro News Anchor Desk, I'm Chris Lawrence.
This is Coach Neil Brown, reminding you that the best game day coverage is found right here on your official radio home for West Virginia University football.
The Watchdog.
Just take those old records off the shelf. I sit and listen to 'em by myself. Today's music ain't got the same soul. I like that old time rock and roll. Don't try to take me to a disco. You'll never even get me out on the floor. In 10 minutes I'll be late for the door. I like that old time rock and roll.
All right. I know what you're thinking as I say this. The Tigers will be next. I know I promoted that Coach Holinka will be on. My big mistake. How can I pass over Coach Reno for Holinka? Well, my paper in front of me, it was covered by a book. It says Holinka. I forgot to look at 210. So, Coach, sorry about that. This is Coach Reno. How are you, buddy?
I'm fine. How are you?
All right. I woke up this morning. That's a good sign, don't you think?
Yeah, that's a good sign.
All right. I'm reading here. This is your 50th season of coaching, 38 with Steubenville. Man, you've been around a long time with victories, 387 active, I guess, and you're a Hall of Famer, right?
Well, I don't know about that. We'll see today.
Okay.
What have you done for me lately?
Oh, Coach, I missed you. I should have called you a couple of times during the off season, but you know, there's never an off season for a guy like you because you're always trying to find ways to improve the way your team plays. All I will say is that you've lost a lot of good players through graduation. How do you fill all those holes?
Well, you know, I've been telling these kids for years now, players graduate, but tradition's here forever. So tradition never graduates. And it's their job to keep that tradition going and even to add to it.
Okay. I guess for your two-a-days, you had, what, about 54 players? 15 of them are seniors? So they got a lot of experience, right?
Well, hopefully. I thought, you know, we've had the longest, we've been able to do the most since this thing started. I mean, we weren't allowed to do anything all the other Junes, but we were allowed to coach this June because we missed April and May. So it's been a long process, but, you know, the thing I love best about the kids in the United States today is every football player at any level, high school, college, pro, practice, not even knowing if they could play. And and I think that means a lot to me. These kids have given everything they had and not even knowing if they were going to get the kickoff tonight.
Wow, that's amazing. You can't be too pleased with a 6-game schedule unless you're going to add some games, right?
No, I'm pleased. We're playing. That's all that matters.
Okay.
If you'd have said this 2 months ago, you know, we're playing. That's what matters right now. I don't care if it's a 1-game schedule. We're playing. We're going to take one day at a time, and we are playing. And that's more than I could say as enthusiastic as I'm saying it now a month and a half ago. We're playing.
You sound like Chuck Noll. He used to tell us all the time, 1 game at a time. But that's true.
Well, not even that. We don't even know if we were going to get 1 game in. But now we know today we're playing 1 game, and I'm really happy for these kids. I'm happy for everybody. The only people that I think got rooked were the Big Ten. You know, they could at least try. If it didn't work, it takes 1 second to say close it down.
Yep, that's all. You're right. I agree with you 100%.
Close it down. You know, just give it a shot. If it's not working, close it down. That's all they had to do.
Coach,
that's all we're going to do. If it doesn't work, close it down.
Close it down. Hey, Coach, usually you have the home field advantage. I think you had 1 or 2 away games yesterday. You got 4 of your 6 on the road.
Well, here's how I look at it.
Okay.
There's limited number of fans this year, so we'll go on the road. Next year, we'll have all these teams at home, and we'll have a full house.
Okay. All right. Talk to me a little bit about your offense.
Offensively, we have 3 offensive linemen back from last year, and we have a receiver back from last year. I think we've improved speed-wise, but experience is at an all-time low. Even with the seniors that are being in lineup, have very little experience. But with youth and inexperience comes enthusiasm, and nothing great was ever done without enthusiasm. So I'll take the enthusiasm.
All right. Let's go across the line and talk about your defense.
Defensively, we got our 2 inside tackles back. We have 2 linebackers back and a corner back. So we have 5 guys back on offense, and we also think we're a little bit quicker on offense. I don't know if we're better. I don't know if we're tougher. I don't know anything else, but I know that we are quicker and faster than we were last year.
How about special teams?
Special teams, we have a new kicker, and I feel that we could be more consistent in the kicking game this year.
Okay, well, that's good. I was going to remind you of your playoff loss last year, which probably still stings, but you always tell me, don't look back, look ahead. As we
we lost, but we were 6-4 last year, and the only thing that disappoints me is we were in every game in the fourth quarter with the ball, and so that's the name of that tune.
50 years, Coach, 38 as a head coach. I know you love working for the kids, but when are you going to have time for you and the missus?
She's real happy I'm here. Okay. I really, all told, I just finished my 62nd two-a-days, starting in the 6th grade at St. Anthony's, and then 4 years of high school and 4 years of college. So it's been a while.
You're one amazing man and one amazing coach, and I know you love the kids. I saw that a couple of times. I saw you in wins, and I saw you in a defeat. How much you felt for those kids, winning and losing. And I know
you saw a tough loss too.
Yeah, I know. I thought you were going to take me out to dinner, but you said I'm going home, and
we were winning 21-7.
I know.
In the third quarter, and got a first down, and it was called back, and we ended up with a 3rd and 30. And was downhill from there. But if we'd have got that first down on the 29-yard line, we're in 4-down territory. We have a chance to do something else. But that's just how close things were.
Okay.
And but that was last year. And
all right, let's talk about Mooney. Where is Mooney?
Youngstown Cardinal Mooney. We played them 9 times. They've beaten us 7 times. They have 8 state championships. They have 4 runner-ups. And they're a good Catholic school with great tradition. They have great coaching. They have good kids, and it's going to be a really good battle tonight.
Wow, you're starting off with a big test for your young kids.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. They're known as the Cardinals, right?
Right.
Okay. And they've beaten you 7 of the last 9?
We played them 9 times, all in the playoffs. They beat us 7. We beat them twice.
Okay. Well, the bus ought to be leaving soon, right?
Not yet, because we're not allowed on the field any earlier this year. You're only allowed a certain amount of warm-up time, and you're not allowed in any lockers, so we're not in any hurry to get there.
Oh, okay. All right. The coaches, will they be wearing masks? How's that's going to go?
Yeah, we'll be wearing masks, and we bought those masks that you pull up and down when the players are in the game. They can put them around their neck. When they're out of the game, they have to pull them up.
Okay, all right.
There's a name for those masks, but I forget what it is.
Will the bands be playing tonight in Mooney?
Only in Ohio, only the home bands play. The visiting bands aren't even allowed to go.
Wow. Okay. How about your cheerleaders? Do they get to go?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. All right.
I should know that. I got 2 granddaughters cheering, but I really don't know.
I love you, Reno.
Man, I don't know.
I don't know either. That's why I asked you. All right, you got at Mooney, Dover at home, Lindsley at home, at New Philadelphia, at Wheeling Park, at Fitch. I saw this morning. I said he's got 4 or 6 away. But it's like you said, no crowd, no problem.
No crowd.
Yeah, no problem.
Mon-
Young team.
Money will be made next year.
Coach, always a pleasure, and we'll talk
Nice
to you
talking
next
to
week.
you.
All right?
Go Pack.
All right.
See you after a while. All right, buddy.
Bye-bye. He don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Whatever. He's a classic, you know. It took me a while to get to know him. I think like 2 years. Okay, then I went to a game and had a lot of fun. What a place. I mean, that's like, you know, it's like going to Ohio State or West Virginia. The place is packed. The fans are having a good time. Good football. Usually they win most of their home games. And I was kind of like, whoa, wait a second. Is there a misprint here? At Mooney, home against Dover, Lindsley, at New Philadelphia, at Wheeling Park, at Fitch. I should ask him, where's Fitch? But if he didn't know if the cheerleaders were showing up, maybe he doesn't know anything about Fitch. Oh, we jab each other real good. Real good. And he's one of the pleasant opportunities I've had coming to the Valley to meet him because, you know, I've heard about him. Coach Render out of Upper St. Clair in Pennsylvania used to talk about this Reno guy, you know. I thought it was Reno, Nevada or whatever. And once I was here, I understand he's a good guy. I know for a fact how he cares for those kids. When they lost last year with a 21-7 lead, I sat next to him in the locker room, and he greeted each kid with a hug. He was crying in some cases. He really felt bad. And you don't usually see that, but I saw it in Reno, and a lot of the coaches are like that, okay? Now I can tease this because coming up after the 2 o'clock break, finally, Coach Helenka, Shady Side. We heard from his opponent, Coach Yoder from Martins Ferry. We'll give you the inside dope. I guess I shouldn't say that. We'll give you some inside information concerning the Shady Side football team. And right now, I'd like to do a little sportscast in case you join me and joined me early. I had Greg Brown on. Greg talked about the trade with the Pirates. Not a big deal. They got rid of a good defensive player. I think he was hitting, 111? Could that be true, Bill? Yeah, 111. How about that? You know? And he made a nice catch a couple of games ago. But Jared Dyson, no longer a Pirate. He wore number 6. He was traded to the Chicago White Sox. And, you know, it's one of those, what did we say, Lola? What's it called? International slot or whatever?
Yeah.
Okay. They won't save a whole lot of money. He was batting 157. 52 plate appearances with the Pirates. He signed a 1-year deal in February, not for a whole lot of money, a real good defensive glove, but they're a dime a dozen in Major League Baseball. Now, if you're a good defensive player and you got a good stick, yeah, you're going to go places. So, you know, and he's going to a good team. So God bless him, you know. The Chicago White Sox, in my opinion, and I think Lola agrees, they might be going places with that hitting lineup and a young pitching staff. So, but the international slot dollars are expected to go to the Pirates in a deal. And with the trading deadline coming up Monday at 4 o'clock, I expect we'll hear from Greg Brown because I think the Pirates will make a couple of more moves. Remember, they got a brand new general manager, and he has he doesn't have to worry about good friends on this team. He doesn't know anybody. He's coming in new. That's why they brought him in. He's going to be like a vacuum cleaner. He's going to clean the place up. And I expect at least 2 or 3. I don't think there'll be major changes, but there will be changes. But with Dyson's trade, his trade value was very low. Okay. And give Ben Cherington credit. He got something for almost nothing. So international pool money for Dyson, the more money the Pirates have to spend in international free agency, the better. They're going to have all this money, and they probably won't spend it next year. What do you think, Lola?
Probably not.
Yeah, they got, the second lowest? I don't know. But the Pirates also claimed Anthony Elford off of waivers from the Blue Jays. What do I know about him? Yeah, I don't. But he's expected to take Dyson's spot on the active roster, and he'll become the team's 4th outfielder, okay? Yesterday, I noticed it. Well, Bob Walk reminded me. He was doing the lineup. The first 3 players in the hitting lineup were all shortstops. They got like 5 shortstops on the team. Some days you got a shortstop, and then you got a couple of shortstops playing in the outfield. They had one shortstop playing third base, and then another game, another shortstop playing at first base. So, but that's what you're doing when it's a tryout camp. Hey, I'm excited they swept the Cardinals, 2 wins in 6 hours. You don't see that every day in Major League Baseball. Of course, they had 7 innings each, but you know, it was a great situation. And tonight they play the Milwaukee Brewers. The last time they played Milwaukee, you know, it was a 3-game home sweep for the Pirates. And Milwaukee, they stink. They've had a lot of injuries, though. They made a lot of moves that didn't benefit the team to save some money. But they still got some, you know, their 2, 3, 4 lineup is still pretty good. But I can see the Pirates taking 3 out of 4. All right? If they do that, I think they won't have the worst record in baseball. What are your Tigers, Lola? Do you know? Have they hit 10 wins yet? I don't have a paper.
I don't know. I looked early when Greg was on, and I've been trying to do other work over here, so I don't remember.
I'll tell you in a second. I'll tell you in a good second. Isn't it a pleasure to have Greg Brown on? He tells some great stories, especially when it's about the Buffalo Bills. The only announcer to go to 4 straight Super Bowls, okay, work with the team, the Buffalo Bills, and, of course, not win, all right? But he's got 4 nice AFC championship rings, okay? I know that because I watch a lot of the Steelers get those rings, and they're almost as nice as a Super Bowl ring. But you know what? There's nothing like a Super Bowl ring. Who was I talking to a couple of weeks ago? It was about 3 months ago. I met him at a charity event. Oh, Frank O'Hara's, and he wore his Super Bowl IX ring. Lola, that thing was about as big as this paperclip. And you know how gaudy they are today. I mean, they're huge. You know, it's a wonder a guy's hand doesn't fall that. Whoops, sorry about that. And a lot of guys don't wear them. I wouldn't wear them, all those diamonds. You know, put them in a vault, save them for your kids. It might be a college education there someday. And Tom Brady got what, almost $1 million for a ring? Or was it Robert Kraft? Robert Kraft? Got about $1 million, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. Have you seen the new promos for the Bradshaw bunch?
No.
Okay, they're going to be on E. It's a weekly thing. It's a takeoff on the Brady bunch. He's crazy. He's crazy. You know, in these promos, you got to see a promo. I think if you watch TCM, what was I watching the other? ION? What is that? They show movies.
Yeah, it's an independent, I think. I don't know.
Peacock.
No, Turner doesn't have commercials like
No?
that,
Okay.
period.
But Peacock, you know, there's a secret to watching Peacock. You can take a break before the movie starts because they don't show any ads during the movie, but you got about 7 minutes of ads before the movie.
Well, just like going to a theater.
Yeah.
We did check out Peacock. We've been watching a British series called Hitmen, which is really, I mean, it's really dark humor, but we think it's really funny.
I like Peacock, and I know I can go grab a beer, go to the refrigerator, chase the cats around the house when they do their thing on the floor. But, yeah, I counted 7 commercials the other day. Why? Because I wanted to. I'm sick and tired. Well, when's the movie going to start? Then it says the movie will start. Okay, all right. But there's so much out there to offer. I mean, it's just unbelievable. Just unbelievable. And there's always new things coming up, new apps and stuff, new streaming and all that. All right, just give me the basics. I don't know if I want to watch ESPN anymore. All right? I don't know if I want to watch any sports for a while. You know? It's just kind of sickening. The Steelers have made it official. They will not be playing any home games. That means that 2 home games, no fans. The Pitt Panthers have 3 home games, 2 of the 3, no fans. So September got to be quiet for Bill DeFabio, working the games and doing security. But that's okay. There are people worse off than me, like ushers, security guards, employees at Heinz Field. So everybody's cutting back. A lot more people are hurting other than me. I interrupted you, Lola?
I thought the way it sounded is like you said the Steelers weren't playing any home games.
Oh, I meant home games in September. I'm sorry.
Well, they just won't have any fans, right?
Oh, yeah.
Well, they'll be at home, but they won't
It's on
be
me.
having
It's on
people
me.
in it. Well, you know what? It is, to coin a phrase.
You know, I'm
it
thinking of
is.
the parking lot attendants, you know, the people
Well,
merchandising,
yes,
you know. All these are jobs. They're not players making a lot of money. They're people working 10, 12, 15 bucks an hour, sweating, trying to make a buck. That's all gone for a while. I guess it's the new norm for the while. Well, I'm not going to screw this up. Do I have to take another FanDuel break?
At the bottom of it, just
Okay.
before 2:30.
I had Holinka on before Reno. Shame on me. Reno will probably tell me about that next time I talk to him. But Coach Holinka will be with us. He's the head coach at Shady Side. and he'll be going up against a Martins Ferry team. We heard from Coach Yoder earlier. He's got a lot of experience coming back. I'm talking about Coach Yoder. And we'll find out what kind of roster Coach Halinka has coming up. And after him at 2:35, Brett McLean out of St. Clairsville, they will be hosting Oak Hill. Do you know where Oak Hill is, Lola? Is that in Ohio?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, okay.
Who is playing them?
St. Clairsville's playing Oak Hill.
It's in Ohio.
Okay. All right. And at 2:45, we won't forget about Ray Fittipaldo. I'm going to ask him, I'm sick and tired of reading and hearing about Ben Roethlisberger. Today, there were 2 more stories in the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette about his elbow. Let's wait till the season starts. But, of course, he's a big name, and if he blows his nose, that's big news. So,
Well, let's face it, there's nothing else to talk about.
No.
So.
And I'm going to ask him point blank, did Mike Tomlin or any of the Steelers talk about not having a practice yesterday when 9 other teams decided we're not going to do anything today? All right? We can talk about Cam Hayward. I'm thinking, they're going to wait till the last second to make a deal with this guy because none of the teams in the National Football League, they're not going to be comfortable next year with a cut in the salary cap. It's not going to be 80 or 85 million anymore. It's going to be like maybe late 60s. So, and you got a lot of people that want paid a lot of money because they have done their share of work. I mean, Cam Hayward's been there, 10 years? And he's one of the lowest paid defensive players? Come on. Got to pay him. Yeah. Wouldn't want to be in Art Rooney's shoes. Actually, I'd like to be in his shoes, No, I'm happy being right here. I would work for the Steelers if I could take Lola Miller with me. Lola, if I happen to buy the team, would you like to work for me?
I know.
I would give you six-digit salary.
Yeah, that would be like $1,000 and no cents. That's 6 digits.
Oh, Lola, you know me, don't you? How about a limo from Wheeling to the South Side?
No,
okay.
I don't want to work for the Steelers.
Okay. Oh, if I worked for the Lions, you'd work for me, wouldn't you?
Maybe.
Yeah. Okay. We don't hear too much about the Lions, do we?
No.
No.
Which is good.
Yeah. Once again, the NBA says they will not play games today, but they will play games tomorrow. So I'll be watching this. I'll watch all the games. I like the Clippers. I like their coach, Doc Rivers. I really like watching LeBron. I like for him to, maybe stick to basketball, but he's got a platform and he's entitled to use it. When he talks, people listen. That's just the way it is, all right? It's a platform, so use it, okay? I kind of like it. I want to see if there's any hockey games postponed, so give me a second. And I'm down to 7% on my thing. Oh, boy, that's not good. Here we go. Let's check the PGA Tour, all right? It's in progress, round number 2. Where is it? At the Olympia Fields Country Club. Where the heck is that? IL, is that Illinois?
Yeah.
Okay. Purse, $9 million. First place, $1.4 million. All right, it's in second round. Tyler Duncan and Mackenzie Hughes and Roy McIlroy. They're in the lead. But, this is just day 1. All right, but you can bet on that, too. You can bet what player wins. I mean, you can bet on anything. You can even bet on men and women's tennis. How's that sound? You can bet on Major League Soccer. That's cool stuff, too. Now I'm checking the National Hockey League. And today, I won't be watching the Bruins play the Lightning or the Stars play the Colorado Avalanche because those games have been postponed. All right? Let's see if they're playing Saturday. Yes, they are. Okay, 3 games on Saturday. The Lightning and the Bruins, the Flyers and the Islanders. That's probably the matchup I really love watching because they got a lot of young players. Both teams tonight, they're not really superstars, although they got a couple of studs, especially Hart in the net with the Flyers, and the Islanders have a pretty good player in points. And I watch the Golden Knights. Anytime the Golden Knights are on, I like watching them, although I haven't seen Marc-Andre Fleury play for, 2 games, so he's not upset. He's a team player. He just wants to win another Stanley Cup. Gee, Mark, you got 3 Stanley Cup rings? Isn't that enough? There's never enough, especially if you get to drink out of the Stanley Cup, all right, which I've had the pleasure of doing not once, but twice. Boy, that was a hoot. Oh, some great memories. I have memories, too, of Fridays. High school football Fridays, going to continue with another hour of talk. Yes, I'm going to be here till 3 o'clock. Coming up, Shadyside head coach Halinka, and we have St. Clairsville head coach McLean, and we have a Steeler insider that I like to abuse, Ray Fittipaldo, live from Heinz Field. I think they're practicing. I got to practice this. I got to take a break, and then we'll be right back.
I was raised off of Route 3, out past where the blacktop ends. We'd walk to church on Sunday morning, race barefoot back to Johnson's fence. That's where I first saw Mary, on that roadside picking blackberry.
The Watchdog is FM 98.1, AM 1600 WKKX Wheeling, FM 97.7, AM 1370 WVLY Moundsville.
The ABC News is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
From ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. Today, calls for racial justice and equality retracing history in Washington, D.C. Thousands of people gathering for the March on Washington rally this hour at the Lincoln Memorial, the place where the Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. delivered his historic I Have a Dream address on this day in 1963.
57 years after his father's famous I Have a Dream speech, Martin Luther King III. He said Americans are marching now for lasting structural change.
I ask you to pledge, as my father and John Lewis did, to get into good trouble and do it nonviolently. Remember that in the fight against injustice, nonviolence doesn't mean passive acceptance. It means peaceful resistance.
We must march, he said, to the ballot box and to the mailboxes to ensure the freedoms earlier generations worked so hard to win.
ABC's Aaron Kotursky. The march comes in the same week. Jacob Blake, a black man in Kenosha, Wisconsin, was shot by a police officer, sparking days of protests and unrest. That led to a deadly violent scene where 3 people were shot. 2 of them died. 17-year-old Kyle Rittenhouse was arrested in Illinois as the suspect. Today, his hearing was delayed until next month. Laura is still on the move as a tropical depression in the Mississippi Valley. ABC's Jim Ryan in New Orleans says the cleanup of Hurricane Laura, an historic storm, will last weeks or longer.
Even 20 miles inland, this is what Laura sounded like.
It wasn't a howling, it was more like a screaming.
Chad Lejeune stayed in an interior room of his house in Iowa, Louisiana for 5 hours, waiting out the storm.
You could actually hear the shingles being ripped off the house.
As a tropical depression, Laura is still bringing a threat of tornadoes to northeast Arkansas. Jim Ryan, ABC News, New Orleans.
More than 690,000 customers still without power in 3 states. You're listening to ABC News.
Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean.
Most people know that Mr. Clean Magic Eraser removes crayon and scuff marks from walls, but did you know it even cleans tough kitchen and bathroom messes that are sometimes tough to tackle? Just wet, squeeze, and erase gray soap scum on your bathtub. Erase cloudy hard water spots in your shower. Erase burnt-on stovetop messes. So for all your tough kitchen and bathroom messes, try Mr. Clean Magic Eraser.
Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean.
Liberty Mutual Insurance Company presents and Doug.
Fasten your seatbelts, folks. We'll be prepared for takeoff.
Limu, how cool is this? Your first time flying. Oh, I didn't mean... Listen, Limu, you might not be able to fly, but you do something even cooler. You tell strangers that Liberty Mutual customizes their car insurance so they only pay for what they need.
Sir, do you have a certificate for your service bird?
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Get a customized quote at libertymutual.com.
The Pentagon is in the process of cutting the number of U.S. troops in Iraq, going down from 5,200 to 3,500. Military officials have been anticipating a force reduction there for some time, saying Iraqis have been doing better governing on their own, fighting ISIS militants. A translated announcement today from Japanese leader Shinzo Abe.
I made a judgment. I should not continue my job as a prime minister.
Abe stepping down, citing health reasons, saying he suffers from colitis. The 65-year-old Abe is Japan's longest-serving prime minister, 8 years in office. A historic event happening in the Middle East earlier this week.
Israel's El Al Airlines listing its first ever commercial flight to the United Arab Emirates, a sign of the U.S. brokered deal to normalize ties. On Monday at 10 a.m. local time, the new flight, numbered LY971, that in a nod to the UAE's country code, will take off from Tel Aviv to Abu Dhabi. There won't be tourists on board, just diplomats working on the emerging peace deal. U.S. Embassy officials here confirming that will include President Trump's Senior Advisor Jared Kushner, and the National Security Advisor. Jordana Miller, ABC News, Jerusalem.
German doctors now say Alexei Navalny is doing better. The Russian opposition leader is still in induced coma, but stable, they say, with improving symptoms after falling ill in Siberia last week amid suspicions he was poisoned. This is ABC News.
Hiring is challenging. Just ask Dylan Miskowitz, the COO of Cafe Altura.
We needed a director of coffee in order to move our products forward. It felt like we were looking for a needle in a haystack.
Dylan started using ZipRecruiter and found his perfect candidate in a few days.
We were very impressed with how quickly we had quality candidates apply through ZipRecruiter.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/try. That's ZipRecruiter.com/try.
Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
At Wheeling Hospital, we're doing amazing things with cardiac care. We're implanting the world's smallest heart pump to help keep it beating as we open clogged arteries, and replacing aortic valves without open heart surgery. We're also greatly reducing the chance of stroke by implanting a small device in the heart for certain patients with atrial fib, again without open heart surgery. Amazing cardiac care, amazing cardiac specialists, only at Wheeling Hospital.
A serious injury from an accident can be just the start of your worries. What if you cannot return to work? How do you take care of your family if you're disabled? At Gelner Law Offices, we represent seriously injured people and understand their problem. We know how to get you fair compensation. We will work hard to make sure you get the money you deserve for your losses. Don't go it alone. If you're hurt in an accident, call us at 304-242-2900 or visit us at gelnerlaw.com.
We'd like to help.
I'm Josh from Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration. I hope you are staying healthy. We continue to respond to structural, fire, and water emergencies. We are combating COVID-19 with our highly trained staff and latest disinfection systems, providing preventative and reactive disinfection to facilities around the region, while working with area hospitals on isolation areas and air filtering. At Panhandle, we continue to follow social distancing and hygiene protocols. We are dedicated to our community, and together we will get through this.
Wheeling Tire's message is all about spring. Let the cleanup begin on your vehicles after being abused all winter from the salt, potholes, and more. Let Wheeling Tire check your vehicle's alignment along with your tire pressure. Your brakes will need attention too, since road salt can impact their condition as well. We can service your vehicles, including all oil and gas industry vehicles. Ready to look good this spring? We can accessorize your vehicle with lift kits and new wheels. Get moving safely this spring with Wheeling Tire's help. Celebrating 50 years in service. Like us on Facebook and online at wheelingtire.com.
The Highlands Event Center is the area's premier destination for conferences, workshops, employment fairs, weddings, and more. With 4,000 square feet of space, the Highland Event Center can accommodate events large and small. Situated in the heart of the Highlands, guests can enjoy the many restaurants, retail stores, entertainment, and lodging options. To check out everything the Highlands Event Center has to offer, head to thehighlandseventcenter.com or call 833-639-7070.
This is a test of the emergency alert system. This is only a test. This concludes this test of the emergency alert system. If this had been an actual emergency, you would have been told where to tune for news and official information. WKKX serves the Wheeling operation.
Hello, everyone. From the Watchdog, I'm Darnell Foster. With a look at your local weather forecast for your Friday. Mostly cloudy with a few scattered thunderstorms. Daytime high near 83. Less humid through the overnight with temperatures down into the upper 60s under mostly cloudy skies. You'll see the chance for a shower around for your Saturday. Temperatures in the low 80s. Have yourself a great day, everyone. From the Watchdog, I'm Darnell Foster.
The views and opinions expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of this station or its sponsors.
There is nothing wrong with your television set. Do not attempt to adjust the picture. We are controlling transmission. If we wish to make it louder, we will bring up the volume. If we wish to make it softer, we will tune it to a whisper. We will control the horizontal. We will control the vertical. We can roll the image, make it flutter. We can change the focus to a soft blur, or sharpen it to crystal clarity. For the next hour, sit quietly and we will control all that you see and hear. We repeat, there is nothing wrong with your television set. You are about to participate in a great adventure. You are about to experience the awe and mystery which reaches from the inner mind to the outer limits.
Now it's time for Bill DeFabio on AM 1600 WKKX, the Watchdog.
And now, for the fourth time, since I screwed up a couple of times on my time list here, we can welcome those Tigers out of Shadyside and their outstanding coach, Mark Holinka. Hey, Mark.
Hi, Bill. How are you?
I've been better. It's good to have this first week off, knock it off with some coaches. And you know what it's like. Coaches teach, they coach, they're busy. But once I get this first weekend out of the way, I'll be fine.
Yeah, at least you don't have the West Virginia teams to worry about.
Coach, Shadyside enters 101st varsity football season. I understand you were there for the first 100. Is that true?
No, it was only in the 90s. They exaggerated.
Okay.
No.
Hey, am I going to be able to walk on the brand new field September 11th?
Are you going to come down? You never came down yet.
Oh, you keep track, huh? You keep track of that.
Yeah, that's right. You come to West Wheeling Central, wherever they're at. That's when you always come.
Oh, Coach, come on. Okay, I'll make a promise on the air, okay? I'm coming to one of your home games.
All righty.
Maybe Wheeling Central. I can kill two birds with one stone.
That's right. That's when I'm expecting you.
Okay, or Magnolia, because, I'm a Patriots fan, and, Coach Chapman played for the Patriots. So there you go.
Okay. I thought you were a Steeler man.
I'm not any kind of a man now with sports, I knew 40 years ago in Boston, it's just a business. I mean, it's nice if the Steelers go to the Super Bowl. If they win, that's nice. If they lose, that's okay. Somebody's got to win, somebody's got to lose. We all get paid very well. So you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Tell me about this new turf. Is it laid or is it being laid?
No, it's done. We got to practice on it. First go was Monday this week.
All right.
So, they did the under part, took about 2 to 3 weeks. Then they did the top pretty fast. They did that in about 2 weeks. So they got it done once they really got going at it, probably, about 6 weeks, 5 to 6 weeks.
Is it called top turf? Because that's what they have at W&J football field.
No, we've got AstroTurf, actually.
AstroTurf, okay.
Yes.
All right. Do the kids like it?
They seem to, yeah. They pretty much was kind of like, a few of them were reluctant, they like grass. I kind of like grass even to some degree, but it's only I like grass when you know for sure it's going to be a beautiful evening and no rain. So, now we got great practices because you got, the field looks like it's just been manicured and everything's, kind of like you got land markings for every drill that you do, and I think that really helps not only with games but with the practices.
Now, when you have games, do you have to park like 40 cars around the field and use the headlights?
You're like Sears Die Hard commercial. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, just having some fun with you. Hey, I'm looking at your coaching staff. I've run out of toes. How many do you have? I've never seen that many coaches. I don't think Pitt, West Virginia, Ohio State have that many coaches.
I know. You're right. Ryan Day would be jealous.
Man,
we got both quality and quantity. See, that's what we try to get, quality and quantity.
No wonder you're a winner. You surround yourself with good people.
That's right. That's it. Believe me. That's the key to it all.
Yeah, it is. That's good. 101 years. Is there any special celebrations coming, or did you have that last year with year number 100?
The 100th year was a celebration year. It'd been funny, it'd been nice. Probably if the turf was 1 year newer, but we're thankful that it's here. So you got back-to-back reasons to be exciting. Last year was the 100th, and we start the next 100 years on a new field. So that'll be nice. But we got to worry about tonight because we're on Ferry's Field.
All right, and that should be an interesting matchup. You were 8-4 last year. I think you went as far as what, round number 2 of the playoffs?
We got beaten round 2 or 3. I forget. I don't know.
Okay, all right. But a lot of that talent you had last year returns this year. So I'm looking at some of the experienced players you have, your juniors and seniors. You got a lot of experience coming back.
Oh yeah, well, we do have a lot of experience, but the people that we lost, you getting back to that quality. I mean, we lost some quality people. It might not have been back to quantity, but the ones that we lost were pretty. At a small school, especially Bill, they're not just starters on one side of the ball; they're starters on 2 sides of the ball. So in essence, you're losing 2 players, and we lost some good ones in that sense.
Yeah, but you got your QB back, your leader, right? He started 12 games last year, 16 touchdowns, 2,020 yards.
That's big when you have your quarterback back because, the more grooming, the more confidence it gets with the experience. That's I'll take that any time. So, yeah, we got him. He should help lead us to what we need to do and be more relaxed. But we've also got our 2 running backs back, basically, so that's going to help. So our backfield's pretty well intact. Yeah. We got quality receivers. It's, and if our line can do the job, we're going to hold our own. But, Ferry's the same way. Ferry's got a backfield full of all seniors. So that's a tall order, too.
Yeah, tall order for the opposing defenses is Wyatt Hyman. Hyman, you mentioned it to me. What is it?
Ryman.
Ryman, okay. I'll say it 10 times and I'll know it next time. But he was a workhorse. He was what, all Ohio last year?
Oh, yeah, he's probably all Ohio. I don't know. I can't keep track of which ones were this. I know he was a sophomore here at the year in the Valley, which is a nice honor for one player to be out of that class to be an honor. But, that's last year. And so now he's got to, you can't have that junior slump now after all the accolades he got as a sophomore. So hopefully with it, we can respond to those things. And that's what's, both of those guys that you've mentioned in Reese Francis and Ryman are both juniors. They get to start early in their career. So, in some ways we've got experience, but we're still a little young around the edges. So, we got to make sure that we come out and play.
My guest is Shady Side head coach Holinka. He'll be going up against Martins Ferry. The game's at Martins Ferry. It's a nice rival game. All right, let's talk about your O-line. You lost some quality people. You have to replace 3 starters. Did you do that?
Well, yeah, we're going up with 5 guys. Yep, we got, and so a lot of times, Bill, when they say you got 3 starters, there was like the 1A guys, and we got some of them 1A guys right behind that got playing time last year through injury or just through rotation, in certain games. So the guys we're putting in there aren't completely non-starters from last year. They were like half starters. So the line's not completely bare, and the people we injected in there, aren't chopped liver either. So it should be interesting in that part. But they still weren't, probably at the point last year as being as good as the ones that have graduated. So we got to hope that they mesh together. And that's the important part. The line takes the chemistry of the line to work together as a unit is the big secret to success, I think, up front.
Yeah. Now, when Martins Ferry have the football, they're going up against a 4-3 base defense?
Well, certainly, yeah, that's our base. But, we're going to have to change to do whatever it takes to stop whatever they're going to do. And they're probably like to try to run it down our throats. So we're going to have to make sure that we can stop the run.
Yeah, okay. All right. We talked about the coaches. We talked about your turf. What's left, Bill? Oh, give me a sneak peek of what you're facing against Martins Ferry when they have the ball.
Well, I think, they got a quarterback that we didn't face last year because of injury, that he would have been their Wildcat quarterback. So, they're going to bring him back. So they're basically in Wildcat out of every formation they're in now this year. So they got a quality backfield, and they get some nice linemen returning. And they're a veteran team this year. They probably started about 8 seniors on that offensive team. So, we're going to be with the younger group that we have this year. We're playing a class up in some instances. So you can't, you can't relax because I think experience plays, a big role, especially when they're at home this year rather than on the road like they were last year when we played them. Yeah. And from what I hear right now, it's starting to pour, Bill. So that's another factor for it helps the team around the ball probably.
I've been to Martins Ferry. I forget the name of the restaurant. Well, no, I was at Bridgeport, but I've never been on their field. Is it grass or artificial?
Their field's made by the same corporations that they're an AstroTurf field too.
Okay, well, that's good.
So it's almost identical tires.
Okay, well, that's good. So it could pour down, but it doesn't matter if you have the artificial stuff. You know, we talked to Coach Yoder, and he was happy about, I think he has this, I call it Sweet 16 returning letterman. He has a lot of experience. You have a lot of experience. So I'm going to use the E word for tonight. Is that pretty good?
Yeah, what's the E word?
Experience.
Oh, okay, I got you. I thought you had another word besides experience. Yeah, that would be great.
All right. I think I've covered all bases. Did I forget anything? Martin's Fair?
No.
Yeah. Yeah. By the way, if I come down to your game, whether it's Magnolia or Wheeling Central, will I be allowed on the field?
Oh, sure. I'm sure. I don't think we could stop you, will we? Because you know you're going to end up in that end zone somewhere. So yeah, you can come down the sideline.
Okay.
You know, I shouldn't say that this year. Who knows? I don't know even who's allowed on that sideline this year with all the, all the new rules and all the with the pandemic and fighting through what we got to do. There's a lot of precautions that's going on. So, it's a different year, Bill.
Well, if I get in trouble, I'll say, "Yo, whoa, I know Mark Olenka," and somebody will say, "So what?"
Exactly. You'll be arrested. You get yourself arrested.
It doesn't matter, as long as I have a place to watch football and I'll get to watch a couple of teams I'm familiar with, whether it's Magnolia or Wheeling Central. I promised you 3 or 4 years ago, I'm coming down. I'm not going to get lost in Shadyside. I'll make it a point to come down to one game. How's that?
That sounds good. Tell Lola, she better hold you to it now.
Oh, yeah. She won't let me forget. Oh, she'll stick it up my nose, yeah.
Hey, Mark, how many years now has he been saying, I'm coming to a game?
Yeah, he wants to see this loop. This loop, and how do you get there? If you can't find your way around Shadyside, then you see.
Mark.
All you do is make a left-hand turn.
Mark.
I know it.
Mark, you don't understand. I have trouble finding my car in the parking lot.
That's true, Mark. That's true.
All right? Don't get old, Mark, although you've been there for 100, 101 years, whatever. Hey, Mark, it's always a pleasure. By the way, how are the hot dogs?
I don't know. I don't get to taste them during the games, but I don't know. But
Okay, all right. I like a good hot dog at a sporting event. I just want to see good football, okay?
Okay.
By the way, you don't get to take the band or cheerleaders tonight, do you?
I don't know about the second. The band, no, I know that's a no on away games, but the cheerleaders, they might be. I think they're probably. I think they're allowed, but the band's not.
Okay. Are you ready for the purple helmets, which is something new this year?
Yeah. I hope so. We'll see.
Okay. Well, you have fun, and it's good talking to you again. And I was only kidding about you being there for 100 years.
I understand.
All right. Enjoy the new field, and maybe I'll come down on the 11th. How's that?
Okay, Bill. Well, we'll see.
Okay. Well, yeah. Lola will remind me. There's only 6 games, so I got to come to one of yours.
Right. You got 3 choices there. There's only 3 home ones. You got to pick one of them.
All right.
All right.
Believe me, she'll remind me. Thank you.
Okay. Take care, Bill.
Bye-bye. Ooh, September 11th. 9/11? Yeah, doesn't matter. Okay. Yeah, he's got a great football team coming back. And, it's going to be a pleasure. I'll probably go down to the Central or Magnolia game because I know both coaches very, very well. And, it's time for me to tell you about the NBA because they are going to be playing, okay? All right. And, when we talk about the NBA, you can do a lot of good things. Can we do it, Lola? Okay. The NBA playoffs are here, and FanDuel Sportsbook has a slam dunk offer that you won't want to miss. The NBA will be playing tomorrow, as the National Hockey League will be playing tomorrow. Here's what you can do to get started. You're a new user. You can get special plus 2,000 odds on any team to make the NBA Finals. I know, everybody in the NBA network, TNT, whatever, they're picking like the Bucks and the Lakers. I don't think so. Maybe one of the 2 teams. But there are other good teams out there, like Boston, for example. And offer is even available on favorites like the Bucks and the Lakers, but the ball's in your court. This is what you can do. Pick any team and just bet $10, $10 for your chance to win $200 if they make it to the finals. And guess what? If you pick correctly, FanDuel will get you a payout as little as 24 hours. Why would you bet on sports with FanDuel Sportsbook over other sportsbooks? Because you have options. I'm going to name you about 5 of them. Promotions available for new and existing users. Types of bets. Promotions, as we mentioned, the brand you trust. We trust them here at the radio station because they're our teammates, and we trust each other. Deposit options. And I like this because I like this 4-letter word, easy. Real easy for Bill DeFabio to use. And how can you join Bill DeFabio and the gang here on FanDuel Sportsbook? Well, you download the FanDuel Sportsbook app to get started, and be sure to sign up with promo code WKKX so they know that we sent you. That's FanDuel Sportsbook, promo code WKKX. Tagline, FanDuel Sportsbook, more than one way to win. There's a disclaimer. I got to mention it to you. 21 plus, present in West Virginia. New users only. You must wager on designated boost market. Max bonus, $200. See full terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Visit www.1800gambler.net. You don't have to be an NBA fan to make some money off of an NBA team. All right. We have one more coach that we're going to talk to, okay? And that's Brett McLean out of St. Clairsville. They're home tonight, all right? And they will be hosting Oak Hill. Then at about 2:45 or 2:50, we'll go to Heinz Field and talk to one of my many friends. I call them insiders. And Ray Fittipaldo will give us an update on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Hopefully we won't have to talk about Ben Roethlisberger. But, you know, he's always in the news, and I can understand why. He's a franchise quarterback. If he has a good year, chances are pretty good that the Steelers are going to go a little bit further than they did last year in the playoffs. And a lot of people are betting them as an underdog to win the Super Bowl, okay? I just want to see them play, and I just want to see Ben play like the Ben of old, 2 years ago he had a great year, 5,000 yards. Okay, he threw, 20-some interceptions? But the Ben Roethlisberger of 2 years ago made the team a whole lot better on offense. And their defense, just my opinion, top three. They're very, very good. Young guys, you got T.J. Watt in there, Devin Bush out of Michigan. They can be very, very good. But you know what? An injury here, an injury there, some bad plays there, an ugly start. I think they have a great start. Going up against the New York Giants, new coach, new offensive line, new offensive weapons, and they got Le'Veon Bell causing problems with the coach. So what else is new with Bell, right? What a great player. What a great player. But, that's the way it is. Better New York problem than Steeler problem. But opening up with the Giants, that sounds like a win-win. But what will Lola and yours truly tell you? You never know till you play the game. Lola, do you know who the Lions are opening up with? Is it the Bears?
I don't know.
Because then you and Biff can get into it.
We don't get into it.
No?
No.
All right. Not even a friendly beer or anything?
No.
Okay.
No.
All right. Well,
I don't know. I haven't. I mean, football to me is like so far down the road.
how far down the road are the Red Wings? I shouldn't have said that. I didn't mean to bring that up.
Well, right now they're sharing golf course with your Penguins, so,
Thank you, Lola.
You're welcome.
Yeah. I showed my friends that picture with Sid Crosby. Instead of holding up the cup, you have the golf bag.
Yep.
That was great. So far as I know, the Steelers are practicing today, but we'll get that update in about 20 minutes or so. And Ben Roethlisberger said the team never really took a vote on whether to cancel practice yesterday, so they practiced while 9 other teams decided to play golf or spend some time with their families. Okay, there you go. And the Steelers announced, like the Pitt Panthers announced, there'll be no fans allowed to attend the first 2 home games at Heinz Field. All right? That's really going to hurt Pitt because they have, the first 3 games at home and, no revenue for the first 2. The first game is against Austin Peay. They got to pay them $500,000 or $1 million just to play on their home turf. So there you go. But that's the way it is. Is it the new norm? I hope not. I want to see all these high school teams next year play 12 games, 11 games, or whatever. I still think the Big Ten's going to do something. I don't know if I like the idea of maybe in January or February or whatever, playing games in domes. These kids got to play outside. And hey, you could get the COVID-19 indoors, right, Lola?
Yeah.
Yeah, doesn't make sense. What makes sense with the NCAA when it comes to football? Or when it comes to basketball, It's like the governors of the 3 states I'm familiar with, Ohio, West Virginia, and Pennsylvania. You never know what's going to happen. Things change every minute. Things won't change here, although in about a minute we're going to take a news break, and we'll come back with our final high school coach of the year and our Steeler Insider right after this, and we are the Watchdog.
The Highlands Event Center is the area's premier destination for conferences, workshops, employment fairs, weddings, and more. With 4,000 square feet of space, the Highland Event Center can accommodate events large and small. Situated in the heart of the Highlands, guests can enjoy the many restaurants, retail stores, entertainment, and lodging options. To check out everything the Highlands Event Center has to offer, head to thehighlandseventcenter.com or call 833-639-7070.
I'm Josh from Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration. I hope you are staying healthy. We continue to respond to structural, fire, and water emergencies. We are combating COVID-19 with our highly trained staff and latest disinfection systems, providing preventative and reactive disinfection to facilities around the region, while working with area hospitals on isolation areas and air filtering. At Panhandle, we continue to follow social distancing and hygiene protocols. We are dedicated to our community, and together, we will get through this.
Hey man, what can I get you?
Yeah, can I have 2 Coors Lights?
You got it. Hey Mike! I need 2 Coors Lights!
Sure thing. With a taste as cold as the Rockies, only Coors Light gives you refreshment every time. Here you go.
Thanks, Mike. Doing a great job. All right, 2 ice-cold Coors Lights.
That's the coldest beer I've ever had.
Hey, they don't call it the world's most refreshing beer for nothing.
Okay, be honest with me. Do you really have the Rocky Mountains in your beer cooler?
You don't believe it? Check it out.
Man, that's pretty amazing.
I know, right? I can't believe it myself sometimes. I mean, this cooler is only 3 feet wide.
Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. With great beer comes great responsibility.
Does this current crisis leave you wondering how to pay your bills? Well, a lot of people are struggling right now. I'm attorney Tom McIntyre. Call me today to schedule your telephone or video conference meeting, and I will send you a copy of my new book about bankruptcy, When Bad Things Happen to Good People. Call 877-456-4155. Together, we will figure out what to do now and what to do when this is over. We will get through this together.
West Virginia 211 makes a difference in the lives of thousands of West Virginians every year. Do you need help paying utility bills, finding housing, buying food, accessing job training, navigating veteran services, or dealing with an emergency or crisis? Call West Virginia 211 today to speak with one of our specialists. We'll make sure that you've got a plan and put you in touch with the right resources. Dial 211. West Virginia 211 is a program of the United Ways of West Virginia.
A serious injury from an accident can be just the start of your worries. What if you cannot return to work? How do you take care of your family if you're disabled? At Gelner Law Offices, we represent seriously injured people and understand their problem. We know how to get you fair compensation. We will work hard to make sure you get the money you deserve for your losses. Don't go it alone. If you're hurt in an accident, call us at 304-242-2900 or visit us at gelnerlaw.com.
We'd like to help.
The Highlands Event Center is the area's premier destination for conferences, workshops, employment fairs, weddings, and more. With 4,000 square feet of space, the Highland Event Center can accommodate events large and small. Situated in the heart of the Highlands, guests can enjoy the many restaurants, retail stores, entertainment, and lodging options. To check out everything the Highlands Event Center has to offer, head to thehighlandseventcenter.com or call 833-639-7070.
The Metro News Update is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
West Virginia Metro News, I'm Jeff Jenkins. Governor Jim Justice giving his final media briefing of the week on the coronavirus this hour at the state capitol. You can watch at wvmetronews.com. The governor will be talking about the latest coronavirus numbers from the state. 191 new cases added during the past 24 hours, along with 3 deaths, taking the death total up to 202 in West Virginia. Of those 3 deaths reported today, 2 from Logan County, 1 from Cabell County. Meanwhile, the governor may say something about the state's preparations when it comes to what's left of Hurricane Laura. Rain expected to enter the state tomorrow. There are a few counties in central West Virginia that got heavy rain yesterday that really can't take much more. Sean Wolfers, Director of Homeland Security and Emergency Management in Nicholas County, he says the water yesterday wasn't really destructive, but it has created some problems.
The majority of the damage has been confined to roadways, washouts, debris, all that type of stuff. Nothing too major that roads aren't passable today. Everything's pretty much been cleared out by the DOH, but we did have one home in the Cottle area near Craigsville that had water come in into it. It came up very, very fast from the creek there.
Read more at our website this hour. FEMA has approved an application from Governor Justice when it comes to additional unemployment benefits for those who have been laid off because of the pandemic. And FEMA approved that application. The state will also put some money toward those additional benefits. You're listening to Metro News, the voice of West Virginia. The all clear has been given at West Virginia Wesleyan College in Buchanan after a disgruntled student made some threats earlier today. Now, the campus has been closed for the semester. Only online instruction is taking place. There was a precautionary lockdown, but again, no injuries reported. West Virginia Wesleyan reporting this afternoon that all is clear. There will be many high school football teams across the state having their first scrimmages of the season tonight. The regular season opens in a week. From the Metro News Anchor Desk, I'm Jeff Jenkins.
Hello, Ohio Valley. This is Kate Delaney inviting you to join me overnight here on the Watchdog. Whether it's talking to big names in entertainment or sports, discussing the latest political news, or just chatting about life, I'll be here to keep you company on the Watchdog, WVLY AM 1370, FM 97.7, or online at watchdognetwork.com.
Well, I love her, but I love to fish. I spend all day out on this lake, and hell is all I catch. But today she met me at the door, said I would have to choose. And if I hit that fishing hole today, she'd be packing all her things and she'd be gone by noon. Well, I'm gonna miss her when I get home. But right now I'm on this lake shore, and I'm sitting in the sun. I'm sure it'll hit me when I walk through that door tonight. Yeah, I'm gonna miss her. Oh, looky there, I've got a bite. All right.
Well, we're trying to connect with Coach McLean out of St. Clairsville, but I think he's at a boosters meeting. That was my last message I got. Yeah, these coaches do it all. Yeah, okay. So hopefully we'll hear from him before 3. And in a few minutes, I'm going to take you to Heinz Field where the Steelers are practicing. Unless Coach Mike Tomlin throws a curveball and he has them going to the south side. So whatever will be, will be. And as far as other teams, I think most of the teams are practicing today. It's got to check on everything anymore in sports. I never worked so hard. You don't know who's playing. You don't know who's practicing. You don't know what games are postponed. Things can change every minute. I know one thing. The Pirates are playing Milwaukee tonight. Can they make it 3 in a row in the win column? Well, the last time they faced the Milwaukee Brewers, they swept a 3-game series. Now, this is a 4-game series. Who knows? When we come back here on Monday, maybe they've swept 3 in a row and trying for 4 in a row, okay, over the Milwaukee Brewers. Not very good. It was nice that they took 2 from St. Louis. How about 2 wins in 6 hours? That was pretty cool stuff. And this young kid, Ponce, first start, he's a winner. That's pretty cool beans, too. So I didn't mean to say cool beans. Sorry about that. All right. But the lineup looks good for, a lot of the teams. I'm looking through the schedules. Man, so many of these teams, they only have 6 games. But as Reno said, Coach Reno from Steubenville, he's the Big Red, right? It's like he said, it's like he said, what was I going to say? At least they're playing football, At least they're playing football. So what I should do is call Coach Mac McLean. He always returns my calls, but he's busy getting ready for Brooke, all right? Who do we have on the line, Lola?
It's Coach McLean.
Oh,
but
there he is.
He missed his theme song. I was playing your fishing song.
Yeah, But his brother's a better fisherman, right?
There's truth to that, but he's older, so that's a win-win. He's old, I'm young.
Okay, hey, Brett, be honest with me. This is off the record. In a fight, who would win?
Okay. Well, we'll keep that between us.
All right, okay. All right. Hey, I know your roster has a lot of youngins. You lost a lot of people. Here's my suggestion. You ready? And I'm only here to make your team better. Call your brother because he's got 18 starters coming back.
I know.
Maybe you can transfer a few players. What do you think?
Well, I wish, But
you can't do that, right?
He's had that crop of kids coming for a while. I'm real excited for them. I can't wait for next week to hear the results of how they get things started off. But you know what? Lo and behold, I missed you because the monsoon just cut loose over here in St. Clairsville, and we had to panic and run out and get some things tore down that are set up for tonight's game. And it seems like every force of nature in the world is trying to slow the start of this football season.
No. You don't work with Lola Miller, speaking of force of nature. Come on.
That's true. That's true.
No, she told me. She says, you know how bad it is out there? And I'm thinking, oh, yeah, a little bit of rain. No, it's like wind and thunderstorms.
Well, you know what? Just sitting in here, and Brett, you don't know what it's like. We're in a cave. We're in a basement, basically. Yeah. No windows, no nothing, and I can hear it thundering.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, it's bad.
All right, let's talk about your team. You're small, your senior class, 8 players? I don't know. Is it a rebuild or retool year for you?
Well, we always want it to be a retool year. I mean, we don't like that rebuild motto.
Yeah.
We got 9 seniors. That is a smaller group than we're traditionally used to having. We've graduated 2 groups in a row that had 19 plus. So that's not the norm, that's for sure. But the 9 kids we got, for the most part, all of them are returning starters. Many of them are, 2 or 3 year starters. So I'm excited about that. It's just, where we're green, new guys got to step in, and they're not necessarily young guys. It's their opportunity to win a starting job and hold it down and, hold up a tradition, that we expect out of them. So I'm optimistic. We're really, really excited to get playing and get going. As I alluded to earlier, I know everyone's jumped through a lot of hurdles, and it's just time to go play.
Yeah, it's like Reno said when I said, Reno, you never have more than 1 away game. He's got 4 of 6 on the road. But he says, my kids don't have to worry about rowdy fans, so that's good. And who's your opponent tonight, Carleton?
Tonight we've got an opponent coming from a long way away, Oak Hill High School.
Oh, it's Oak Hill. Okay.
Stationed, they're stationed in the southern portion of Ohio. They got about a 3-hour bus ride.
Oh, my. You don't send a corporate jet from St. Clairsville?
No, we haven't made it that far yet, but maybe something you can dream, right?
Yeah, dream. Everybody dreams, and these times are the new. I hope they're not the new norm because I want to see schools like yours, Steubenville, Wheeling Central, all the people I'm familiar with. I want to see them next year play 10, 12 games. That's a football season. Reno said it best when he said it, and I think Halinka said it best too. We just want to play football. Doesn't matter if it's 1 or 6.
Yeah, I mean, for us, it is a passion. And, I told the kids last night, I'm not that old, but I've been around the game since I was 8, so 36 years basically, or 35 years. I couldn't imagine if this fall happened and I wasn't around a football team coaching it or playing on it. I don't even know what I'd do. I don't know where it would all go.
And you're in your 19th season, right? Isn't it 19 for you?
Yeah, started 19. Yeah.
Okay. Well, you're not like Halinka. They're basically 101st anniversary, and I said, were you there for the first 100 games as head coach? He laughed.
Oh, jeez.
And then I didn't know until I read about Reno, he has the most active wins for a coach in Ohio. I didn't even know he was a Hall of Famer.
Oh, yeah, and I just sent him an article not long ago where he's and he'll get mad at me for saying this, but one of the top 100 coaches in the entire United States. So, that's you're talking about Hall of Fame guys. And, boy, how about Shady Sides Field? It is beautiful, isn't it?
Yes. I don't know. I haven't been there. I'm going to be there maybe September 11th. I don't know. I keep telling telling Coach Halinka, I'm coming down. then he's reminded by Lola, you've been saying that for years. Okay. So I'm going to go down.
Well, you should get down there.
Yeah.
Get down there and see it. It's beautiful what they did.
And hopefully I won't get lost in Shadyside, but that's another commentary. Talk about your opponent. Talk about your opponent, Oak Hill.
Yeah, well, this is honestly, it's been like a playoff game because we didn't get this game signed until I think it was last Tuesday or Wednesday night late. So what I mean by that is we had to, in short time, learn a lot about each other. And, fortunately, we got to have the first scrimmage, so we got to trade films with each other, and you can watch. But, they play in a league with some, traditionally really good opponents. Mm-hmm. Teams like Ironton and Wheelersburg are competing every year for state championships. Their coach, I believe, is in his second year. Very, very good running game. They run out of some old-fashioned sets in some people's eyes, but my opinion is this game is cyclical, and you're going to see sets like this coming back into play more and more often. If you get to watch our game tonight, they're a power running team. They got 3 seniors back in the running back spots that all played prominent roles last year for them. So, and then they've got a couple offensive and defensive tackles. One of them's on the Ohio Max Preps watch list as a potential Division I candidate. So they've got a lot of size. They've got some physical running backs, and this kind of weather, this is probably exactly what they're hoping for to enact that running game on you.
You know what you do? You pull the light switch. Make sure it doesn't work. There you go. You're not going to play the game in the dark.
You can't find the ball very easy.
Yeah, there you go. See, I give you advice. Call your brother up, have some of his kids transfer to your school. Your football team will be better, and make sure the lights are not on tonight. There you go. See, I'm here to help you. Hey, Coach.
Get you on staff.
How's the pay? Pretty good?
No.
What are the perks?
Stay where you're at.
What are the perks? You got any gift certificates
gray
for
hair,
me?
Headaches, and hair headaches.
I don't have to worry about gray hair. Headaches, working with Lola, I have them every day, okay?
Now you believe that, don't you, Brett?
Yeah, you know what, Lola, nothing that he says about you is true. I don't believe a word of it. I know you, and it's all a lie.
Well, yeah, she's a lovely lady. I guess that's not true either. All right. Hey, I'm only kidding about your brother. I wish the both of you good luck. It's too bad you don't play each other, but, I'm sure you keep track of each other, how you're doing, how you're not doing. And you're the better fisherman, right?
That's the truth.
Okay,
if there's anything true about this conversation today, that's the truth.
Okay, all right. Okay, there you go. All right. You have fun tonight, okay?
All right, guys. Hey, thanks a lot again for having us.
Okay, thank you. All right.
Bye-bye.
Good stuff, good stuff. Same with Mac, good. Most of these coaches, I'd say 99% of them, great guys to work with, Oh, they're all great guys to work with. Maybe the one or two I don't get along with, maybe they don't like me, I don't know. I know one thing, I'm going to take a break, and then we'll go from high school football to Steeler football. We're going to take you to Heinz Field, where Ray Fittipaldo, hopefully he's not writing a story for tomorrow, and hopefully it's not about Ben Roethlisberger, but I'm going to ask him the question. Did the Steelers think about no practice yesterday when 9 other teams did that? That and more coming up on Football Friday on the only station that's concerned about football in this area, community events. Oh, by the way, the walkthrough. More football knowledge from Jerry and the gang, all right? Coming up at 3 o'clock, but right now, our final break and our final guest on this Friday.
Does this current crisis leave you wondering how to pay your bills? Well, a lot of people are struggling right now. I'm attorney Tom McIntyre. Call me today to schedule your telephone or video conference meeting, and I will send you a copy of my new book about bankruptcy, When Bad Things Happen to Good People. Call 877-456-4155. Together, we will figure out what to do now and what to do when this is over. We will get through this together.
How do you give hope to a child in the foster care system? It starts with your heart. That tug you feel in yours when you hear that children are waiting for a stable, loving voice to speak up for their best interests. And then it becomes your time. What started out as a feeling that maybe you could make a difference becomes the difference. Change a child's story. There is a child waiting for a volunteer like you. Learn how you can help at casaforchildren.org.
A serious injury from an accident can be just the start of your worries. What if you cannot return to work? How do you take care of your family if you're disabled? At Gelner Law Offices, we represent seriously injured people and understand their problem. We know how to get you fair compensation. We will work hard to make sure you get the money you deserve for your losses. Don't go it alone. If you're hurt in an accident, call us at 304-242-2900 or visit us at gelnerlaw.com.
We'd like to help.
The Highlands Event Center is the area's premier destination for conferences, workshops, employment fairs, weddings, and more. With 4,000 square feet of space, the Highland Event Center can accommodate events large and small. Situated in the heart of the Highlands, guests can enjoy the many restaurants, retail stores, entertainment, and lodging options. To check out everything the Highlands Event Center has to offer, head to thehighlandseventcenter.com or call 833-639-7070.
WKKX and WVLY voted coolest couple in their high school yearbook.
Look at this photograph. Every time I do, it makes me laugh. How did our eyes get so red? And what the hell is on Joey's head? This is where I grew up. I think the president fixed it up. I never knew we ever went without. The second floor is hot for sneaking out. And this is where I went to school. Most of the time had better things to do. Criminal record says I've broken twice. I must have done it half a dozen times. I wonder if it's too late.
All right, if you're football hungry, coming up at 3, Quaker Steak and Lube. It's called The Walkthrough. And it's a panel of many, many experts, okay? And they'll take you through the high school football campaign that's taking place today. So, you know, it's kind of like a teaser with me and all the coaches, and icing on the cake with the guys up at Quaker Steak and Lube. Right now, we're going to go to Pittsburgh, and my Steeler insider, good friend. Unfortunately, he's a Yankee fan, but that's okay. And that's Ray Fittipaldo. Ray, what's the weather like there? It's crazy here.
Thunder and lightning, and I think this is going to be with us through the weekend, unfortunately, Bill.
So that means you might have to go from Heinz Field to the south side indoors, or what?
Yes, Steelers are scheduled to practice tonight at 6. If they move it, it'll be over to the south side, but I can't watch it in the south side because it's indoors. So hoping they keep it outdoors, but the forecast does not look good.
Why can't you keep it indoors? There's a lot of space there, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just, I don't think it's the Steelers. I just think it's the NFL's rules.
I agree with
Yeah, we're allowed to view it when it's out in the open, but not yet when it's indoors.
Okay, will they take some players indoors for interviews, or will everybody be Zooming?
Everybody will be Zooming. That's 2020 for you.
Hey, you called it when we talked earlier in the week, or whatever, about Wednesday or Thursday, Art Rooney or the Pittsburgh Steelers organization will talk about fans or no fans, and I guess they made it official, I think it was yesterday, no fans at the first 2 games at Heinz Field in September. Were you surprised?
No. I mean, I think the Steelers are probably going to go month to month now. I think they're holding out hope for October, November, and December. But, you know, until they get the go-ahead from the state and these cases continue to go down to a more acceptable number, I don't think these large outdoor gatherings are going to be taking place in Pennsylvania. You know, I know what's happening in Kansas City. You know, they're going forward there. I think that's, you know, a more remote part of the country where maybe they're not dealing with this the way that other major cities are. So as of right now, Steelers fans are going to have to settle for watching them on TV. But, you know, like I said, there's always hope that they could open up for some fans in the final few months of the season.
You know, I got to ask you, and I teased you this earlier today, and you said you had no problem talking about it. Was there any discussion yesterday with either the front office or the captains of the team about postponing practice because 9 other NFL teams said, no way, we're not working today? Because I know Ben was quoted as saying we never even voted on it or needed to take a vote.
Right. Well, Mike Tomlin has taken the lead on this really since June when, you know, these protests got under the way after the murder of George Floyd. You know, and unfortunately it's been a constant throughout the summer with other killings. And Mike has always taken the lead in that he's telling his players, we are going to be activists through our deeds, through the community, through the things that we do with charities and so on and so forth. And I could sit here all afternoon and list you, all the charities that the Steelers do. But the point is, they have not been ones to protest or, skip practices or even games like you're seeing in baseball or basketball. So that's sort of been Mike Tomlin's MO throughout this process. I just think the players are taking his lead.
All right, listen, you can tell your colleagues, and I'll give you a phone number if they want to call me. Are we going to see 2 or 3 more Ben Roethlisberger stories tomorrow? It seems like every day it's Ben this, Ben that. If he blows his nose, is that a headline story? Come on.
Do you know what the old axiom is for NFL beat writers, Bill?
You're going to tell me.
When in doubt, write the quarterback. So especially with Ben coming off a surgery here, I think that's what people want to read about. So I get it. I think it's what drives the headlines and it's what people want to read about. But yeah, I'm with you. How many ways can you write that or talk about that, throughout the summer? I think we all need, for the first game we did here, so we can actually talk about football and what he's actually doing in games rather than what he's doing in practice.
Is he as good as everybody claims? I know it's just practice and you have ghost defenders, but are you impressed with his throwing ability?
Yeah, his throws are on the money. From my untrained eye, looks like he has good velocity on him. His spin rate is pretty good, and I think anytime with a surgically repaired elbow, the thing they're most worried about is the spin rate. How that spiral can cut through the elements later in the year. The rain and the snow and the wind and all that stuff. And as of right now, it's been pretty darn good. So. We're sitting here, I think, 16 days away from the opener against the Giants, and all signs are pointing toward Ben Roethlisberger being healthy and his arm being in pretty good shape for that contest.
I shouldn't say that about too much Ben Roethlisberger stories. When the Duck was playing, I think every other day there were 2 or 3 stories about the Duck that I got tired. But that's your job. But I love that line. When in doubt, write about the quarterback. I love it. I guess if you wrote about the equipment managers, they're probably underpaid and overworked. They're washing over 1,000 towels a day, but that's not a big story.
Listen, I wrote about the slot cornerback today. I'm going to guess that more people read about the quarterback rather than Mike Hilton, but that's the way it is.
Yeah, that's the way it is. And I thought it was good. I think I'd mentioned that he's in the Hall of Fame, but I guess it's a foregone conclusion, according to Joe Gordon, that there'll be another Steeler in 2021 in the Hall of Fame, and that's Bill Nunn.
Yeah, that's great news. He is the sole finalist as a contributor, and I think you saw within the last day, Tony Dungy was also named to the selection committee, and Tony knows he knows Bill as well as anyone for being here as long as he has. So it looks like the momentum is strong, and he's finally going to get in this year. And unfortunately for Bill and his family, he wasn't alive to see it, but his family members will be able to bask in that achievement for sure.
When I got to know him, I think every time I was in the media room or cafeteria, with the coaches and players, he always, even if he was standing in line, he would, release his place, come over to my table, either sit down and ask me about my family. He would do that all the time. One of the kindest gentlemen I ever met in the National Football League,
Yep, and there's a bench up in St. Vincent that overlooks the field. Yep. It's named after him. It's in his honor, and that's where a lot of the scouts. Yep. That's where GM Kevin Colbert, for a lot of those practices, that's their viewpoint. That's where they watch all their scouts, all their draft picks that they scouted. That's how they view practice.
Yeah, I tried to pick his brain a lot of times because I'd sit with him on that bench. Hey, what do you see, Bill? What do you see? Can you help me out? He goes, I see a lot. We don't have enough time to talk about it.
You don't want to give up his secrets, I guess.
Oh, yeah, like I'm going to use them, right? No, okay. All right. What are you writing about Sunday?
Sunday, we have a bunch of stuff in there. Jerry Dulac is actually writing about not having fans in attendance. He talked to a few players about that. I'll get back to writing next week. I am off this weekend, so I'll enjoy my couple days, and I'll get back at it on Monday.
Tell the Yankee fan I said hello, and you have a good weekend. Thank you for the updates.
All right. Thank you, Bill.
All right. I can't wait to go outside. I don't want to mess up my hair, but Lola says it's windy out there. Hey, the walkthrough is next.
Like crazy.
Is it? I don't have an umbrella. Do you?
No.
Okay. I guess I got to run and get wet. Can't wait to go home. All right, relax a little bit. Hopefully I'll be watching some sporting events soon. Hey, hope you enjoyed week number 1 of football highlights. Hey, more highlights coming about your favorite teams with a group called The Walkthrough coming up at Quaker Steak and Lube. Jerry and company and a panel of experts to give you all you need to know about high school football. I'm Bill DeFabio, and I am out of here.
The Watchdog is FM 98.1, AM 1600 WKK.